Alrighty. It's been a little bit of a time skip. As I just said before we went live, we're coming in sort of in the middle of June as summer is hitting, kind of beginning to hit its stride, as it were. At present, you are outside. It is bright sunlight. During the summer, the light can get bright enough that it sort of slightly overpowers the tinting of the dome around the city, and all of a sudden everything is less saturated with the color of purple, as the grass in here is like a more natural hue. The buildings themselves seem to be lit up with color all of a sudden, and your eyes took a few days to adjust to it when the sun first sort of crept up to that zenith of intensity above you. All the windows and all the buildings are open. You can see non-combat students currently in lessons, but at present, you guys are currently basically taking turns sparring with members of Class 3 from Year 1, who I don't believe so far you guys have had much interaction with. Adhira, you find yourself like, what are they called in America? Is it bleachers? There's like seats that are like stacked up. So your class and Class 3 are kind of sat on these bleacher type things. In the distance, out the corner of your eye, you can see in another area of the academy, Andress and Chiruru are sparring over there. But in front of you is a girl who has self-imposed a school uniform on herself. Everyone wears whatever they want here at East Academy. She has, put on something that might make sense as an academy uniform, somewhat similar to what a Mortis wears. Long silvery hair, she's wearing glasses, and she's got gloves on. This is Lily. As she is stood in front of you, Adhira, probably one of the first interactions you really had with her, she seems to be using a similar device that Dafer does, this tactical interface that lets her kind of get a glimpse of what might be your weaknesses, as she's giving you a you've not felt this since maybe sparring with Clara, but you can tell that she's trying to get a read on you, Adhira. What do you want to do? She seems to be a hand-to-hand martial artist.
I'm going to try and size her up in return. I'm trying to let my own flavor of insight tell me what I can figure out.
Yeah,
maybe not of combat, but of as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Oh, roll 20 updated. Everything is now in light.
There should just be a simple button to press for that one, though. 6. Beyond the obvious of someone who chooses to give themselves a uniform maybe takes things a little too seriously, in some weird sense, with her, she's doing the full-on anime thing where her glasses have caught the sunlight, so you can't see her eyes, and she just seems to be focused on you, and that concentration basically gives you no sort of tell at all here, Adhira.
I'm in the bleachers, right?
No, sorry, the class, your fellow teammates and other members of Class 3 are in the bleachers, along with Mistel. She's here as well.
Okay. I'm already on the field.
But you're on the field with Lily. The two of you are about to spar.
I will unfold my scythe, flourish it, and plant the head, not the blade, but the head down, so I can sort of lean and wait for her to finish analyzing me.
She does so, looks at you, and says, "Ready when you are."
I will cast Blink on myself and sort of move forward and take the dodge action using a point of
Give me
spirit.
a perception check. As you step forward, you see a series of glints sorry, I'm getting feedback through someone, but you see a series of glints, needles hanging in the air. She wasn't just stood there analyzing you. You can see that there are blades that are very slim that are just like distributed and seemingly levitating in all sorts of directions at Hira, pointing in towards you essentially, as the air itself has been booby-trapped on your approach.
I will backstep and try and work out the safe range.
She steps forward, plucks one of the needles from the air, and then throws it towards you. Give me a dexterity saving throw. 14, it zips past you, and then you see her finger turn, and a very thin piece of string, as it comes around from behind you and impacts into your shell and sort of like shatters and dissipates, and she walks kind of in a wide circle around this minefield of blades that you find yourself in, Atira.
Can I roll a d20 to enter
Yes.
the blink into ethereal plane?
Yeah, you can.
I do not blink.
You remain there. While everyone's kind of sat watching, Mistle slides a little away from Caliban and moves next to Clara, and reaches into a bag that she has and pulls out a like a magazine isn't quite the right word, almost like a newsletter type thing, and she holds it out to you, Clara.
What's this?
I thought you should see this. Your paper may not have won any awards with the judges, but you did get published in the zoological study. I guess there's a newsletter, and she holds it out to you.
That's kind of cool.
She nods. She kind of leans back and says, Mistle, little annoyed that someone from Immortus took first place, but what can you do?
I'm not really surprised at this point. I feel like we're always kind of going to be on an uphill battle, at least for now.
Definitely seems like some favoritism. But that Dylan kid in our year did win one.
That's true.
And then she kind of looks back at the field. And Hero, what would be your general method of dealing with this anti-mobility issue that has been kind of set up in front of you?
These needles are like physical things, right?
Yeah, they seem fragile in a sense. Like that last one shattered against your shell, and you can't see any residue of the material. It's almost like they're almost like constructed to break and disappear into nothing, but they seem to be physically.
I am going to be making sort of sweeps using the weight of my scythe to move myself around, and I will make attacks with my mummy wraps to blast the air in front of me with the necrotizing sand.
Yeah, absolutely. You sweep sections of them away. You watch as she has to like quickly redistribute other sections of the needles, and the two of you engage in this strange battle where she is conjuring needles, putting them out, and you're sweeping them aside, and she's like backing up and trying to circle around, and always trying to keep some distance to you, and constantly resupplying the sort of like array of danger that keeps you from closing the gap, Atira.
I disappear.
All of a sudden, you're gone. What's your move at this point, Atira? She loses sight of you. You can see her eyes on a swivel, trying to like work out where it is you went.
I think there is a level of predictability with Adhira, as she will fade in from behind, sort of scythe raised up behind her, and she will try to hit her with a stored smite. Just a deadly uppercut.
Give me an attack roll with disadvantage.
Thompson, now's a good chance to just do double nat 20. No.
7. As you said, the most predictable place to appear would be in the blind spot behind her. As you pop into existence, already most of the needles have been moved into this space. Your blade clashes against a wall of like almost like a barrier of material, and she turns and basically like clocks you in the side of the head with an elbow, Adhira. At this point, there is an experimental crystal in your pocket. Something that you've been working on with Isabel for the last couple of months. And as of yet, you have tested the spell outside of combat situations, but not directly in a fight so far. The spell basically creates an implosion of wind that constantly kind of like reverberates in towards the central point, but it also draws projectiles and other things towards the central point of the the imploding area as well. If you wanted to use it here, you could, but this would be the first time you have tested it in a fight.
I will take to the side of my head, you said?
Yeah, just elbow to the side of the head.
Take the brunt of the attack, and sort of stumbling backwards, a hand will go to her pocket, slide out the crystal, and she will cast. What do we want to call this?
I have called it implosion in my notes, but you're welcome to call it whatever you would like.
Implosion is a good name.
Okay. That is a strength saving throw from her. What is your DC?
I think it may be 15. Let me check. Yeah.
Okay, so she takes half damage, which is 4d8. Normally halved to, she takes 6 thunder damage, and all of her needles suddenly get pulled into that central point where she is, and she will need to make a dex save. It is the same, basically like a fireball, except it re-explodes at the start of the caster's turn for a minute, so it like re-implodes for a while. It's concentration. Give me 1 second. She needs to make a dex save against her own stuff. She manages to avoid a portion of this, Adhira, but as she like pulls the strings that try and keep a good portion away, it is not enough, as with the implosion and the needles all colliding into her, her shell barrier is depleted, and she kind of like tumbles to one side, basically just like eating dirt at this point as she slams from the implosion to the left hand side where you impacted it. Eventually standing up, dusting herself off, she'll look at you, Adhira, and say, "That's not in the records of the crystals we have."
No, I made it.
You see her pull out a crystal pad and just immediately start taking notes on it.
She's a very studious one, isn't she?
Yes.
What gave you that impression?
It was the light flicking off the glasses. All of the media I've gotten in Laments show that usually happens to the smartest person. I will watch her kind of just like over her shoulder, just sort of watch what she puts in for it, just kind of curious, innocently curious.
Yeah, it basically reads like someone like looking at actual spell in D&D, where she's like attacks someone's physical ability to stand up, pulls towards center, redirects projectile, like all this, like literally like writes out.
She's writing the spell card.
Yeah, she writes out the spell card in front of you, Tira, basically.
Yeah, Dafer's question.
Yes, yeah. Everything in the target zone gets pulled towards the middle.
Yeah. That's a great way to put up cover.
Yes, you can use it, like, people who are firing arrows through it have disadvantage, but if you're firing at a target in the middle, you have advantage, because the arrow is heading towards them. I'll give you a full card later on, but...
okay.
That is... where is my... That's that. That's that. And that's that. Dafer, you are sat next to your sparring partner. It is your turn next. It is Sigrid who is next to you. You've sparred with her quite a few times, hand to hand, though. As she is sat next to you, she has a gut-style greatsword, just like a slab of iron that is like on a stick, basically, that is next to her. As she stands up and starts like walking down towards the training area next to you, Dafer. How do you want to approach a fight with Sigrid?
I assume in the past 2 months we'd also have sparred a lot internally, so I think the largest amount of blade experience and dealing with blades that I have is from essentially fighting Caliban, which would mostly be... So I think during those fights, I mostly would have like lightly redirected the sword, not like fully redirected because I don't have the skill for that, but like enough that it only grazes my shell rather than tanking it head on. And I'd look at the sword and be like, okay, this is like 5 times as heavy. But I don't really have a different strategy for dealing with this.
So you're just gonna try and, like, deflect it in a sense, like, take as light a hit from it as possible. Absolutely.
Deflect it, get very close, because these large blades have their biggest advantage in, like, the medium range, like, for sword fight medium range. Mm-hmm. So make it difficult for her to swing by just being up close and personal a lot.
And would you activate your overload as well, or
not? Yes. Yeah. I would.
At this point, Dafer, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
8. Okay.
Does my tactical interface interact with that?
Not so much.
Okay.
As you step out, obviously Dafer is used to wearing his gauntlets and boots pretty much constantly, right? Like, taking them off is kind of like an evening thing for Dafer when he's like going to bed or something like that. Having been introduced to Connor these last 2 months by Clara, and having talked to him about the bangle system that he has, you have learned about a material called Quicksilver, and through the Academy got a hold of some of it. What it allows you to do, it doesn't reduce the weight of the equipment, but it will basically condense or be wearable and then activatable to deploy itself. Kind of like the best way I can describe it is how nanites work in the Iron Man suit
movies.
From the Marvel movies. That's right. So what would Dafer be wearing in order, because you still have to carry the weight of your gauntlets and boots, Dafer. What does it look like when it's quicksilvered into a different apparatus that you might wear or something?
I think it to me the most sense it would make to have arm and leg rings that are still at the position where the bangles would be, but for particularly the leg rings can at least be hidden underneath jeans and so on.
Yeah.
Or large longer trousers.
So Dafer, as you raise your fists and stand on the field, the material bubbles up and forms underneath you. You get a few centimeters taller as the metal gets underneath your boots and encases it in this proper gauntlets and defensive armor. With the Quicksilver material, you have found an added benefit, which is the runes obviously suddenly form when the Quicksilver is activated. Which means that if you want to include other runes, you can do so quite easily. Having worked on this ice rune for the last couple of months, you can either include it defensively, which will give you resistance to cold damage when you're in overload. You can include it offensively, which will create an aura of cold energy around yourself, which will hit allies and enemies alike. Or you can use it to put up barriers in certain situations, mostly useful for protecting allies. Would you use any of these in this situation?
I'm only in a one-on-one fight. This is
Only
not a
in
group fight, correct?
Fight, yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I think offensively makes the most sense because I don't really have a lot of offensive options.
Yeah. As Dafer, the rune kind of appears on the gauntlets on the backs of both your hands. All of a sudden, the air around you starts to steam a little as cold air interacts with the more hot summer air, and eventually it equalizes, and you can see there's this slight vortex of cold air kind of rushing around Dafer at this point. Dafer, give me a Constitution saving throw against Sigrid, because basically it's a game of whether you can outlast her or not.
Yeah. For reference, I think given the new information of the Frost Aura, I think most of the fight would be David trying to grapple her and
yes.
keeping her in positions and trying to let the effect win over time.
20. The fight is you try and deflect. It would be a save if you are you proficient.
Okay, that's +3.
+3, so 23 total. Nice. The fight would just be you trying to deflect these attacks as best as possible, and just the full weight of the blade probably colliding with your gauntleted hands as you're slid back and keep trying to get back into position. With your armor facings, with your overload, you do eventually manage to outlast her ability to swing the blade and keep you at a distance. With her worn down Dafer, you do end up winning out. Eventually she just seems to she loses the ability to swing her own weapon before you manage to bring her down, right? She's that tired by the end. And you are very tanky by now. With her, she kind of drops to one knee, raises a hand and says, I can fight no more.
Good fight. 1 second, let me drop that real quick. deactivates the rune
Mm.
before helping Secret up.
Yeah, she like clasps your hand and gets pulled up to her feet. She just like drags the sword to a position before embedding it into the soft ground rather than picking it up fully. She says, "There's still more training to be done carrying that weapon, I think."
Yeah, you had me a couple of times there. But what this fight shows me is that maybe I should work a bit on offensive options. Just not sure where to go with that.
She nods and says, hit harder. Uther, give me a perception check. At where you guys are sat, you're like up on these bleachers. You're a little elevated. You can see Class 1 kind of sparring amongst itself over there. So you've got like Andrus, Chiruru, Niall, and Casper kind of over there just kind of fighting amongst themselves. As you look over in that direction, you can see the new Flang Club enclosure, the outside area for some of the creatures that Clara has had imported and is keeping. And there's like almost like a glass dome and mesh that keeps this one flying creature from getting away. And you can see it kind of like dangling upside down from the mesh and just like chewing on the barrier to get out. And there looks to be a girl that I think you may have met across the last couple of months by the name of Mary, a second year workshop student, who is like underneath this draconid creature, holding up like a big hunk of meat and just like waving it around, trying to get its attention at present. But even as you're looking at that, your sparring partner, Vance, stands up and says, I believe it's our turn, Uther.
Joy, 1 second. Clara, the bat is chewing on the enclosure.
Well, you can leave it there, it's fine. I mean, it can chew all it likes. Its teeth are meant for puncturing.
And, yeah, stepping down towards the ring.
As Vance gets onto the sparring area, he curls his fist, and if you ever played Mortal Kombat, you know, like Baraka's arm blade, this like spine that comes out from the like forearm sort of area, except it's metal, so it's like a worn arm blade. And it like sheaths most of the right arm, so he's kind of got it as both a shield and offensive weapon all in one. Do you know what? Actually, it reminds me of now I'm thinking about it. Tokyo Ghoul. They've got the Kabane, I think it's called, or where it's like off the arm. It's like a big sort of like it covers one arm completely. Looks a bit like that.
Yeah, I'll just action dodge and bonus action aim.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
24. You watch as Vance's hair kind of suddenly shifts into more scale almost like scaled appearance, black dragon scales instead of hair. The jaw produces like sharpened needle teeth. His mouth opens and like a not acid itself, but like almost like an illusion of acid is pushed out, and it, even though it's an illusion, it like burns off the ground. Like all the grass where you were just stood a second ago actually is acidically sort of like melted and caustically burned away as he turns his head, and you can see that he's ready to produce another blast in your direction, Uther.
Well, that's unfortunate. Second, looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just gonna have to get close, I think. So yeah, I'm going to try to get inside whatever defense he's got and make him regret life choices.
Give me a stealth check to try and like find a way to like worm your way through his defenses and these blasts of acid. 12. Uther, wrapped around you at present are these ceramic plates that interlink with insectoid appendages that are sort of like wrapped around a rune-carved and covered array of sort of like a centipede type thing that's wrapped around you. This is a construct that you've been working on and that you completed as proof of concept for the paper you submitted. At this point, you've managed to make it either able follow commands to like remotely grapple or otherwise act as a barrier for yourself. In this moment, what would you like it to do?
Bind him.
Do you want it to like wrap his legs so that he can't move, or do you want it to like wrap around his head? Like, what's the
head?
Yeah. All of a sudden, the like pincers of this large ceramic insect let go of its own body, so it like unfolds from you. With two targets, his attention is split, but he still keeps his focus mostly on you, Uther. And with that, it manages to like get around him and start looping up his body. As he tries to turn his weapon inwards, his blade is like too unwieldy, and his other hand isn't able to like try and get that grip as it starts to get around his face. His eyes are still open, but the ability to produce this acid is no longer there. You close the gap. If you'd like to make an attack, you certainly can.
Thanks. And this will be the first attack of the combat.
Yes, it will.
I don't suppose sneak attack applies in this instance.
Sneak attack does apply because you have advantage.
Oh, right. I haven't played in a week. I forgot how.
20 absolute hits. Huge impact that, doesn't completely destroy the shell barrier, but you can almost see it like this energy barrier has spider webs of cracks along it as it gets impacted by your blade. Vance manages to pull the centipede off and steps up into the air, and instead of dropping as you would expect under the weight of gravity, continues upwards into the air, and at this point is flying about 30 feet off the ground, Uther, and continuing to drop acid on you. Is there anything you can do in order to, should we say, rectify the heavy advantage he has gained from the high ground?
I will activate the echo keyword.
Multiple versions.
Try to
of this,
confuse him.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you want to go on the offensive? Because obviously that will buy you some time.
I'm just gonna throw the blade discs and slow him down. Try to stay out of his range.
Yeah, make. Obviously you can aim, so make an attack with the blade discs. With advantage. That would hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. He takes out, duplicate, manages to avoid a couple of shots, but eventually, with that big, heavy first hit, with the centipede-like construct having gotten the upper hand from the start, you're able to capitalize on that and eventually break his barrier as he drifts back towards the ground. He looks at this construct that then kind of comes up and wraps back around you, Uther. While it is wrapped around you, you have +2 AC.
I'll make a note of that.
He looks at you and says, that was sturdier than I thought it was going to be. I even was tempted to breathe acid on it while it was wrapped around my head, but something in the back of my head told me not to do so. Probably the runes.
It is primarily meant to be a defensive measure, so...
He nods. Says, people have talked about your class's, shall we say, inventiveness. It's nice to see it firsthand.
I was not aware that we had acquired questionable fame.
He looks at you, Dafer, and says, well, you were credited in Dylan's winning paper, so everyone's been looking into you.
Oh, he did win that? Nice. That makes me happy for him.
Nods and says, yeah, he got first place for the amber shaving method that he's sort of published. Apparently several companies are looking to buy it from him.
Oh, I would not mind if I could actually commercially get a supply of those ambaric shards. That would make my job a whole lot easier. I tap on the I quickly manifest one of the gloves and point at one of the ambaric shell casings on there.
He says, well, considering you're part of his success, I'm sure you can get a good deal from him.
Would be nice. Imagine standardized methods.
He heads back to the bleachers with Uther. Mistle looks at you, Caliban, and says, looks like we're up.
Very well. For you.
No, I have practiced against you a great many times now, Caliban. I'm privy to your style.
Oh no, is this gonna be she's gonna have advantage against all of her attacks are gonna have advantage?
Well, I know what you're going to do is you're going to stand there and wait for me to hit you.
He's wise to your rage bait.
Oh, you have read me like a book.
It's a single-page book, but here we are.
It just gives a list of different shampoos and conditioners.
Caliban looks at Clara, then looks at Mistle, and then looks back at Clara again, and says, "Take notes."
Don't push your luck.
She draws both of her rapiers at this point.
Caliban does the same with, rapier and knife.
She says, have you really not picked up a second blade yet?
I prefer something shorter. It allows a little bit better maneuverability.
While you are espousing, she runs forward and attacks you, knowing that you would respond. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Ah, that is so good.
that is terrorism.
Masterful Gambit. Dexterity saving
Me
throw.
monologuing.
You just about react with the smaller blade, thus proving your point as it like swivels round, and you parry it to one side, and she kind of like smiles.
Oh, I am gonna say that and just I am gonna say it like, oh, that's clever. You caught me monologuing.
I need either a performance or a deception check from you, first of all.
Okay. Performance or well, they're pretty much the same. So
20. I can't roll lower than an 8 on this, but that won't help me if I do anyway, so... no. In this moment, as she looks at you and you compliment her and the light catches your silvery hair, there's something like, there's like, almost like this Bushido sparkle off of you, Caliban, and you can see that like, some of that confidence seems to slip away as she finds herself kind of like looking at you from a romantic standpoint that kind of catches her off guard. She's unable to sort of read any further weaknesses. How do you want to like go about this fight, Caliban?
I'm going to fight exactly within her expectation.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. I think that kind of best sums up the way you fight, Caliban.
Oh wow.
You are able to stave off the physical attacks that she's using. However, she has acquired a great many potent crystals, and you are like, you blast and absorb. You are blasted by and absorb like lightning strikes and other elemental attacks, Caliban. Mostly shrugging it off, but eventually she manages to wear you down, Caliban. Just from the sheer fact that you fight exactly as she's expecting. She's able to whittle you down over time with spells. She does win, but only by like exhausting a series of different crystals of increasingly powerful spells to blast against you, Caliban. As your shell barrier breaks, she kind of like sheaths her sword and says, "It's not very satisfying beating you that way, but I did win."
Caliban just like gets up and just like he sort of just does a very courteous bow. I will accept this defeat with grace.
She like shakes her head and like huffs a little, but then says, "Come on, let's get back to the seats."
Good thing we're up here. It's starting to get deep down there.
God damn
I'm
it.
not saying anything.
I saw what you posted in the Empress City thing.
That's funny. Clara,
One second. Caliban, how did your hair get less shiny over the past 2 months? I swear I didn't notice up until now, but it just hit me. I almost got blinded by that.
Repeat that one more time.
How did your hair get more shiny over the past 2 months? It just hit me. It almost blinded me.
You'll never know.
Mist will
You changed
mumble
conditioner.
Mist will mumble something about the summer sun, or probably like just kind of like having thought about it for a while now. She's like, it's probably the summer sun. Clara, a girl in like a self-made kind of like knitted overdress with like some clothes underneath, so it's like a breathable material, and you can see that she's wearing something underneath this like knitted, almost like a dress that she's wearing, stands up. She's a little timid looking as she looks at you and says, Clara, yeah, I think it's our turn to fight.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too. She steps out onto the field and from a bag pulls out what I can only describe as Mjolnir on a chain and starts swinging it around above her head. And all this time, like, she seems a little timid, like almost like she doesn't want to make eye contact with you, Clara.
I'm a little uncomfortable by that. I kind of feel bad.
This is Lindsay Dafer. But yeah, she's kind of like whirling it around at present, making herself a safe zone from physical approach, but isn't closing the gap, Clara.
Yes, because what I represent is people who are going to run it to you into your zone of control.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Just throw your weapon, or?
Yeah, I'll give it like a test throw.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an attack. Could you? Absolutely, like, zips forward, impacts against her barrier. Go ahead and roll for damage.
It doesn't have... just the 3, I think.
Just 3. Slashes against the barrier, returns back. You notice her barrier is incredibly strong, like, maybe stronger than Dafer's. It just, like... It's almost like hitting a solid steel wall, and the sound of her barrier kind of is metal on metal. As she looks up, she looks over towards the bleachers, and you watch as Vance nods, and her body contorts in a way that would take most people by surprise, but you've seen this kind of transformation before. As her limbs extend slightly, her jaw distends, and she takes on some of the appearance of your instructor. However, she seems to have much more control over the transformation, as she keeps it that just like there's just some body shifting and morphing. Her eyes turn into those thin animalistic strips, and at this point the weapon starts to launch towards you, Clara. Give me a dexterity saving throw. You roll to one side as it embeds into the floor, and all of a sudden she starts winding it around her arms. Instead of running forward, she almost like pulls herself towards you, closing the gap very quickly. Clara, what do you want to do?
This is perfect. I'm going to crush my invisibility crystal.
You disappear. She turns and starts to sniff at the air. Give me 1 second. Give me a stealth check, not with advantage.
16.
She's not proficient, so she just gets this. She sniffs at the air, but she doesn't have you can tell that she's got some rough approximation of where you might be, Clara, but you're still able to get away. What do you want to do?
Cool. I think I need to line this up. I think if I don't take her out in one shot, she's gonna absolutely wreck my shit. So I'm just gonna try and do it all in one. So I'm gonna pile everything I got on this, I think. Right. So 10 sharpshooter on. I'm gonna use the hand grip.
Yeah.
So that takes it down to 10, takes it up to 14.
14 does hit. She has a low AC, but she's got a high.
Cool. And I will spend a patience stack to up my sneak attack damage in the hope that 29.
29 impacts in. Unfortunately, she does resist the damage. As it slams into her back, she, like, stumbles forward. But she, like, rotates her body in a way that doesn't feel possible. Like, her legs are still facing forward as her body kind of turns towards you, almost like a 180-degree swivel. And then she, almost, like, flowing back around, swings the weapon in a really wide sort of, like, trying to catch your legs. Give me an acrobatics check, please, Clara.
Oh boy.
You play the most intense game of jump rope of your life as this huge metal chain swings at your ankles. You manage to step over it. And she's like walking forward and making these wide sweeps, knowing that if you turn invisible, maybe she'll catch you with them at this point, as she's like advancing on you slowly. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to, like, space myself and keep chipping away at her.
Do you want to give me another stealth check, and then give me an attack? Yeah, you're able
16
to keep your
and
distance.
10.
Unfortunately, finding a good angle of attack with this huge swinging weapon, like occasionally it just like covers her weak spots. She seems quite tactical for this form. You're used to seeing Axel lose all control. You get some sense of like how difficult it must have been at one point to deal with your instructor when he was at his prime, just kind of trying to deal with Lindsay as she is in this kind of position right now. She will make a couple more attacks against you. Give me 1 second. 10 will miss you. 20, I imagine, will hit.
Yes, it will.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. Clara, it like slams into you, and as it does so, runes on the hammer let loose a burst of electricity, kind of like sends you tingling or like numb back. You can feel it in your fingers, and you're like have to clench them in order to bring it together. Another hit like that, Clara, and you can tell that she's just gonna like slap, like the concussive force is gonna break your barrier. What do you want to do? What sort of like last ditch thing here, Clara?
I think if I'd known we were sparring, I would have Chromatic Orb instead of Healing Word, because I don't need to heal myself.
I would agree.
So I will toss one of those. Oh, that's miserable.
What element? I will give you advantage because she wouldn't dodge it, shall we say? Like she's very confident at this point that anything you hit her with, she's just gonna shrug off.
She's metally. She has lightning-y stuff going on. Let's go with fire.
Fire, bursts across her, and all of that instinct that has come to the surface and like bubbled up for reform, there is this like primal fear of fire, that goes off, and it's not like it doesn't deal more damage to her. It's purely like this psychological flicker of fear that causes her weapon to stutter in its swings, Clara, and allows you to get another like really solid hit off. Give me an attack with advantage.
Okay. These are poor.
13 would miss. I don't know if you want to use the grip or not.
Yeah, I will use the grip on that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
So, if I have advantage on it, I have sneak, don't I?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you're right.
For another 14.
14 points damage. As everyone is sat in the bleachers, you watch as Clara does everything right in this fight, manages to get every possible advantage she can, but she just can't seem to break that barrier around Lindsay, and eventually a second hit does land. Clara, your barrier is broken, and she, like, shifts back down, and walks forward and says, that was difficult. You really sort of hit me in the middle there. I thought I was going to go down.
That barrier's insane.
she very shy, sort of like kicks the ground and says, "It's nothing special. Yeah."
No, trust me, it's something special. Some of the things that I managed to hit you with there have, let's say, taken people out in the single hit.
Her class, like her teammates, like are whooping and cheering and clapping for her. You see her like red a little as she looks down and says, "Thanks."
Thank you. I learned a lot.
She kind of heads back towards the bleachers, but at this point, you guys have all sparred. It is a Friday. You were instructed by Axel to only kind of have a spar with this class, and he's been busy lately. Like, kind of like there was a period across the last 2 months where he was more there, but these last few weeks he's been much more involved in something going on. Dafer, in the distance, you see Delphin lean out of the second floor window where the cooking club is and just yells across the entire academy, "Dafer, I need you!"
Uh-oh. How'd they catch on fire?
At which point, Mistle suddenly, like, in the middle of talking to Caliban, sort of like perks up and then reaches into her bag for a second piece of paper this evening and hands it to Dafer and says, "This is for Delphin, if you could give it to him." I don't know if you're there, sir.
Oops. Yes, I did shout, "Will be there." Did that way too loud, and then said out, and then I hurt my vocal cords because it actually did.
But yeah, Mistle hands you like what appears to be a student council document.
Right. Will do. Will do. Anybody else? Anything?
Have fun?
Okay. We'll have fish tonight, by the way. See you later.
Oh, I love fish.
That made me laugh one. It's just this little like, I'm imagining like Terminus having said that as well. Just a little frog. Love fish.
I feel like I get a lot of like recommendations for the cultural food. It's like, hey, you know that they really like to have crickets in this. It's very nutritional.
Oh, what?
We
from
eat scorpion.
Terminus just being like,
Yeah.
"You should eat more crickets."
Very high protein
And you
dense.
should share 50% of your crickets
Oh
with
my
me.
Oh my
You know
god,
what? You
he
can
could
have
actually get
all of the crickets.
he could actually get Dafer on board because I think crickets are high in protein.
Oh God, no!
They definitely
Goddess,
are.
no!
Yeah, insects are, I think, in general. Heading all the way across to the club rooms, Dafer, heading inside, Delphin would look at you as there's this big, I don't want to put it, like kind of like an Argus style cooker that has been delivered but not put into place properly. He says, "Help me move this."
How heavy does that look?
It's like solid iron, like big heavy thing. He's got the other side. He's like crouched down. He's like, "You just get that side. We'll be fine."
Alright. And he... Oh!
The two of you struggle a little, but manage to slide it properly into place as he wipes his brow and says, "There we go. So, I saw your fight. Not bad."
Oops.
Kind of leans back again. Have we lost him? Yeah. Dafer falls out the window.
Oh no.
Just passes out from powerlifting. Just like...
Oh no, he didn't breathe.
My internet died. Sorry, what happened?
After you helped after you help him put the kind of like cooker into place, he leans back against one of the walls and says, "Cheers for that. I saw you win your fight. That's quite impressive."
More outlasted. Didn't really have any other options, but hey, sure.
Win's a win.
Yeah, fair.
He kind of like looks out the window over towards the area and says, I submitted a request for making your food trips more of a club activity. Should be getting some sort of response eventually.
That would actually be very nice on my wallet. It does help with food variety. There's the Japanese place had really great fish. We're looking forward to trying out some of that tonight.
Nuts. He also says apparently they're going to introduce some sort of rationing system as well for the main general store. What with paladins attacking the trains heading into the city from Trismere, apparently there's been another 2 that were derailed last night.
Which is confusing if you think about it. Like, why would you want to... Like, they know who is going to suffer from these derailings, and I didn't get the impression from their manifesto that they were all that much against, like, the everyday people here.
They're just trying to manufacture a situation in which people rise up.
Public discontent.
Nods. But
is that what this is about? Pointing at like this massive pressure cooker that is big enough that it needs 2 people to lift.
Kind of, yeah. I just thought it would be good for mass cooking. Should have the budget approved for it as well. I kind of bought it without the final say so, but Mistel was like probably going to come through, so I trust her.
Oh, on that note, here, I hand him the student council document. Is that what this is about?
He takes it, looks at it, and says, "Yeah, we're all approved, and we've got a special budget for ordering food for the church delivery as well. Looks like everything's secure, Dafer."
We, like, on that one, Dafer actually perks up. We managed to get that approved. I thought that was a long shot.
I think with the derailing of the trains, obviously, he looks around and says, "I don't really understand it, but for general consumption, the academy is under rationing, but for club activities, it seems like, you know how the headmistress is, she's pretty much very pro club activities, so if we rolled it into this, it seems like it's all okay."
Basically, I can cook, and I just have a budget from which I can now cook, or...
Well, there's that,
working
and
on
any of the other club students, he kind of, like, looks over a roster on the wall, and he just says people can write their names down, and they'll come join you and cook with you on the weekends.
That's fantastic news. I like on that one. Dave actually like puts a hand on Delphin's shoulder. It's hard to express how much that means to me. Just thank you for putting your foot down for this.
Hey, you're the one who came to me with it, so. It's just as much.
I'll be happy to bring the good news.
Nuts. Adhira. As you're kind of sat on the bleachers, you see in the distance. Oh god, my brain went blank. You see Andrus has finished up his sparring as well. He turns over in your direction and puts up a sort of like constellation of stars that you recognize as being from your home to sort of like get your attention, Adhira. It's like a big golden swirl above his head.
For a second, I thought we had just somehow set up a language of constellations.
Well, language is something that conveys meaning, and that sort of did. So, in a sense, just a very small language.
Uh-oh, Orion's belt. Things aren't good.
Mercury's in retrograde.
Again?
Mercury's a permanent
Everything was
retrograde with
going
his planet.
great.
She's going to turn to, who's still around from our class?
I think, like, most people are sort of... Oh, sorry, from your class, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I haven't gone anywhere.
I'm gonna go over and see how he's doing. I'll catch you later for dinner.
Sure. Is everything okay?
Actually, yes. I think it is.
Okay. If it's not, just come and tell me and I'll shout at him again.
I'll talk with you later.
You got it.
She will get up and head on over.
Once you get closer, he sort of, like, jogs towards you and says, hey, nice fight. Couldn't help but watch.
Yeah, she really had me surprised with floating needles, but apparently hitting that with a massive implosion of air solved all my problems.
Sounds like you. Subtle till you don't need to be.
Yeah, I'll take that. How about you? Did you win?
Yeah, mostly. You look at the other three members of the class who are, like, led on the ground, looking at the ceiling, like, looking at the sky, just sort of, like, exhausted, while Andrus is there, pretty much fine. He's, like, definitely the strongest one in his class by a margin because of the abilities he has. Looks at you and says, hey, I hear construction's going to be finished on the second floor of our dorms next month. Do you think your class will move over?
I hope so, but I think the only thing holding us back would be if some of us already put down some roots with the people we've met.
I mean,
and who we're next to.
It's a shame to leave that ceiling we painted behind for sure, but having you closer would be nice.
She puts her head in her hands like I would miss that ceiling. But yes, it would be rather beneficial to have a room closer to yours.
You just hear a very, like, exhausted, like, sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, like an Ayo, sort of like, yeah, kind of like that, from Charuru on the ground, who, like, just raises a hand and, like, a thumbs up of approval. It's just, like, let on the floor. Andrus, leans forward and says quietly to you, thanks for keeping things quiet between us for the last couple of months. I think if you want to tell people, then now's the time. Everyone seems to have calmed down from all those rumors from before.
Yeah, I was wondering when they would have stopped and...
As long as you don't feed the fire, they get tired quickly. But
they also never bothered me in the first place, but it is nicer for them to be quiet.
Just didn't like seeing that directed towards you, but I appreciate that it never affected you too badly.
I'm used to worse words being slung at me. She shrugs, unbothered.
Well, I don't like that either, but okay.
I squeeze his shoulder. I'm gonna go for a little walk before we split off for dinner.
Yeah, sounds nice. he kind of says goodbye to the three, and then it is Friday, yeah, and starts like pacing off with you. He says, Axel's still not told you where you're going this month. Your mission, I mean.
No. A little bit of a conflicted look on her face appears. I don't know if that means the pattern is going to continue, where we just do the small-time patrols and target extermination, or if something's going to change. We had a very hectic start to our year, crammed a lot, and there were... what is the word?
Unorthodox?
That's the one. Snaps her fingers. Missions. But now, just... everything seems to have settled.
You almost sound bored, Atira.
Do I want a soundboard?
No, you almost sound bored.
Oh. In a way, I guess I am. I'm used to a lot more activity in my life. Strange thing to say, with the life we lead.
He shrugs and says, I guess the strange stuff is the best experience, right? When things go wrong,
Yeah.
The weirder the situation you've been in, the better.
But that isn't to say that a little bit of routine and having something dependable isn't bad. And she slides her hand over to his.
Takes your hand in his and says, I've definitely come to depend on you. I don't know if we would have made it through that mission near the Vangi border without the crystal you got us, Satira.
It, the way you describe it still seems so strange.
Well, I never expected to go traipsing through the minds of my teammates, but I have to say, we've been closer ever since.
I think it's good that they know a little bit more about you. They know more about Andres and not just the Chosen One.
My class is pretty good for that. But yeah. In some sense, I wish people knew me better and they would stop with the Chosen One thing, but in another sense, maybe it's better this way.
Give it time. I'm sure more people will come around.
I just hope my EK title isn't Chosen One. Anything else?
I will submit Starry Night for you.
Oh, like Night
It's
with
Night
a
with a
K.
K.
Nice.
Yes.
You're not.
I thought of that a few weeks ago, and I've been proud of it ever since.
Yeah, no, I like that much better.
Though I should also think of one for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're sort of leaning into this decay thing, huh? He like looks at the wraps that he's like holding in his hands.
Unfortunately, talking with Axel, Lady Decay, she says, holding up like fingers to quote it, might not test well for inspiring hope and positivity.
I mean, there's a guy called Bloodletter out there, so I mean, I don't see it's a problem.
Why?
I guess because I don't know. Well, I don't know. Masmic don't bleed.
Insight check from more player perspective. Does this sound more like a blood hunter who's they're fully leaning into their own edge?
Do an insight check. it's a weird world with weird powers. Perhaps they have some sort of like hemomancy or something like that. Yeah. Imagine stabbing yourself on a battlefield and being like, "This is the right move."
Well, Noctis's brother does a little bit of that as well, so we can't judge.
I hear he finished that project he was working on. Noctis, I mean.
Oh, the device to restore sight.
Yeah, some sort of, I don't know, must be a prosthetic eye, I guess.
Been working on it for a long time. I'm happy to hear that.
The two of you walk and talk about unfortunate EK names as you stroll around the academy. What do people want to do after this? Like, heading back to the dorms, or heading anywhere else on the academy, or outside?
I'm fine for a quiet night in, eating, reading a book.
I believe I need to check in with some workshop student.
Yeah, heading to the workshop, Clara?
Yeah.
Heading in, it's busy today. There are lots of people doing combat practice, which means that a lot of people come in after combat practice like, hey, my gun needs to shoot harder. You know, like, a lot of people are like, I just did a fight and it was awkward. Can you take a look at this? Izzy is in her little, like, workstation area, and around her, like, lots of discarded small tinkering, like, projects that she's got. As you walk over closer, she stops what she was looking at, looks over at you, Clara, and gives you, like, this big smile that over the last couple of months you've come to know as, I have something cool to show you.
That never gets old.
She kind of, like, reaches underneath the desk without really saying anything because she's too excited to speak. She has to show you, and pulls out this, it's like a simple case, like a carry case for, it could be a weapon or an instrument or something like that. She puts it on, it's like, first prototypes back from the manufacturers.
I'm guessing it's looking good.
Yes, it's looking very cool. She unclips it and opens it up, and you see this metallic spinal column with a grip that looks like partially incomplete, like something needs to slot into it. And there's this thin wire that runs through it, and a, for now, bulky looking, almost looks like a fishing reel, like, wind up, for, like, oh god, I don't know what that's called. Is that a tackle? Yeah, it would be like a tackle, I guess. Like this wheel that's used for reeling. That's probably closer to what I'm looking for. A reel on one side of it.
Little clunky, but I kind of can't believe it's worked at all.
I think we should have a handguard. We can make the clunkiness sort of work for us in a sense.
I am... Gosh, I can't believe it, really.
It's going to take some getting used to, I imagine. You've been using that weapon of yours for, oh, I don't know, probably, did you use it before you came to the academy?
I had a version back home, and nothing quite so fancy. But when I moved, Father had some blacksmiths make me the new one. It had my family swords in it. It meant a lot, but in a way I think it's kept me shackled in the past. That's part of the reason I want to change. And also, I'm sad to say I have joined the ranks of people who have gone to combat practice and come back and gone, oh my gosh, I need a change, but at least I had the forethought to pre-plan.
be surprised some of the short-term requests we have as people run in here. Like, hey, can this shoot fire? No, it's a stick.
Yeah, this was never going to be a short-term request.
She says, do you want me to swap the codex over into the new grip? Or do you want some time?
Please.
Okay.
No, I need to start practicing properly.
She takes the sort of like codex capsule from inside the grip of your normal weapon and adds it to this new one. She says, it's ready. Doesn't have a name yet, but I'm sure you'll find one.
It does.
You
It was actually the first thing I decided.
You never told me that.
I thought it'd be a nice surprise. I didn't want to spring it on you until it was a realistic possibility, if it was ever.
She pulls out this, like, document of things that she's made that she had. You know, like when someone has coursework and they're like, here's a weapon I made, here's an armor I made. And she's like,
a portfolio.
Yeah, like a portfolio. She's like, what is it?
This is Futures Rewritten.
It's pretty. It's long, but I've got space. And she, like, fills in this box.
The Family Matters was also, now that I think about it, longer than most people's. I'm not a big fan of single words, as it turns out.
Yeah, a couple of words. Trust me, I understand. I work with runes.
I wonder what the others will think.
I hope they'll think, fucking hell, that's cool. At which point one of the instructors looks over and says, language. Sorry.
Really? Of all the things to be policing in this room?
Yeah.
Language?
Yeah, there's someone over there without goggles on doing soldering.
I can't look.
And neither should they.
I owe you big time for this. Like, insanely big time.
I mean, no you don't. I got to work with some pretty cool materials. I got to collaborate with a third year. But, I mean, if you want to buy me a drink or something to eat sometime, I will not say no.
Easy. Done.
Deal. And she hands you the case and all.
Thanks.
Have fun.
I certainly will.
And,
Also, just in case anyone is wondering, it does have a page. I set this up in the background.
Oh, cool.
It is still. I'm still missing something from it, which I need to consult everyone on later, because I have a spare keyword that I wasn't sure what to do with, and I wondered what we might get the most use out of. But I can have that conversation when they all see it.
Yeah, and Isabel will, like, obviously pop in any time in order to get it changed, tuned, or otherwise. I have had so much fun working on this, and I would be remiss if I do not get to continue to do so.
Yeah, that's great. It kind of feels like it's very historical in nature. It's like having a squire.
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose so. I like to think of myself as an artist. You think of me as being a retainer, perhaps.
That's cool. I like the word retainer.
Me too. I can't keep you
Right.
any longer. Please go hit something with it.
I'll go hit many things with it.
She nods and then turns back to what she was doing, which was just... you can see that she's working on the clunky motor that you've got. You can see she's already got smaller versions, and some of them are in, like, these big, you know, like a rapier handguard, where she's, like, trying to make it fit with a handguard to protect your hand or something like that. She's already working on, like, what to do about this huge reel that's, like, on the side where your hand grip is.
Yeah.
She's just fiddling with that right now.
Cool. Now I will take this back to the dorm. I have done my one thing I needed to get done before I went back.
Uther, heading back to the dorm, or you got somewhere else to be?
Dorm, I think, yeah.
Okay. Heading in, you would see a piece of mail that wasn't there this morning has been dropped off in your like in your little pigeonhole. and you recognize from like a sideward glance, it's your uncle's like name on the front as he sent you another letter.
Popping it open.
Reading it on the surface, there is some information that's interesting you, which is basically, I was looking through some of your mum's old things, and I found some stuff of interest to you, including some stuff she left for you, but apparently never got the chance to hand over. Too bulky to send by post, so I may have to drop it off in person if you can't make it my way anytime soon. And the undercurrent of that is your mum left you some weapons and stuff, and I absolutely cannot send this by post because they will be they will be grabbed by someone. It will not be allowed through. He also gives you an update on the lines of the city has redirected a lot of the forces it had around Dulukop to the north because of the problem they're having with the Trismere trains getting hit. Food coming into the city is like one of the most important things the city has going on.
Yeah.
So they've redirected a lot of stuff, which has meant that a lot of the quiet grumblers in the Dulukop region have started getting noisier, and he's having a time keeping them from doing anything stupid, as he would put it, as there are groups that are starting to be like, well, if we wanted to like take back our independence to some degree, now's the time to do it.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, he puts it in the notes there that he's very busy at the moment, basically.
Sucks to be him right now.
Yeah.
Boy, that's concerning.
I guess there's an undercurrent of like, I would love to bring you what I found, but I don't know when I'm going to get time to do that, Uther, basically.
Right. If you can come here, it will be better than me trying to add another plate to the spinning plates.
Or if you can find some way of getting special dispensation to have a package delivered from Dulukop that won't be so scrutinized. That's the sort of other route. If there's someone you can get a favor from or something like that, he can send it.
Yeah. Do we know if anyone's having a mission in the Dulukop region in the next bit?
Give me
Would be
check.
a thought. Sorry.
You've spent a decent amount of time with Seth over these last 2 months, compiling information on the hawk moth movements. He has brought up the not himself, but a third year he knows, because they're in control of their own missions, heads out that direction quite a bit. I think, if I remember correctly, it was Suda, who is friends with his sister, basically.
Suda. Is that someone? That is someone we do know. Oh, okay. Oops. I may fish for that later then.
Caliban, as you're about either walking to the dorms, wherever you're heading, your scroll pings as you've received like a direct message.
Is it? Yeah, I check.
Taking a look, it's Bahimir.
Oh boy, what does it say?
It says, came across something interesting. Is one of your classmates trying to sell a portrait? One of my contacts got kind of in touch with me to say that a certain picture that I recognize was being sold. In addition to that, my contacts who were looking at selling the very interesting object to the two of us that we had hoped to meet about still haven't regained any confidence in displaying it. After the takedown of certain unscrupulous members of society, everyone's on a much closer watch. Sorry to say, my boy.
I'm gonna take the message. I'm gonna like CC it and then just put the rest of our my team's like information on it and send it to them and say which one of you.
Adhira, as you look like at your scroll, you're like, oh yeah, I did ask some people for a price on that portrait I got.
You see, it is read. It is not responded to.
Like everyone else says no, and Hero doesn't reply.
I type Adhira.
No.
Lowercase letters.
You get. My response is you've got 5 guesses and 4 of them don't count.
I just type as somebody. No, somebody's not responding.
The portrait's name, by the way, because Bahinir would have included it, is A Coast of Wings and Wonder.
What exactly does the portrait look like?
It's
Wings and Wonder.
It's a landscape piece of what probably was like near this old Zemes, old capital, and it's like a bunch of angels arrayed over a cliff. So it's kind of like with the light behind them, it's just the shapes.
I type again. I'm noticing how somebody isn't responding.
Why does he want to know? What is he gonna do about it?
Do you want to respond to Bahinir about why he's asking?
I'll respond.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave are just like, I can draw blueprints, not pictures.
Bahinir would reply pretty quick, Caliban, saying, I know someone who's interested in buying it. I would take a 5% cut, but 800 GP is a good price.
I forward that to the rest of the group.
You get a reply that says, I don't know who's selling it, but that sounds like a pretty good deal that they would take, yes. If I was
I'm
a
gonna
person, I
message
would
back.
absolutely take that deal.
I'm gonna message back, don't you want Mistle to check for you again?
Dot. On second thought, the seller is probably going to get a second opinion.
That's I messaged Adhira in the group chat. You seem to know a lot about this seller. I think you should be the one to contact Mistle about this.
Dave
That is a very good point. Thank you for your advice. Adhira's left a group chat.
Dave re-invites you.
Caliban invites Mistle.
You just get like a ... from Mistle and then a smiley face. She sends a message and says, not an art expert, but landscape portraits from that period do tend to go for around 1,000 gold pieces. But it sounds like maybe this is a unique situation the seller, in quotation marks, finds himself in.
I'm sorry, my internet cut off for a second. It stopped at sounds.
It sounds like the seller finds himself in a unique situation, and seller was in quotation marks.
Should the seller push for more, or not test for luck with someone like this?
It sounds like you know the seller personally.
Does the seller want to stop referring to themselves in third person?
The seller does not.
Mistel just puts in the chat, I wouldn't, but I'm certainly not the seller.
She wouldn't go higher.
Mistel would not.
Okay. I'm not gonna push my luck. There'll be other paintings to steal. I'll go for the 800.
Okay.
I hope that wasn't a thought bubble.
It was.
Caliban is offended by the seller at their non-compliance to haggling.
Well, that seller probably isn't used to being harassed about their choices.
Well, how would we know? You're not the seller, are you?
It's not. I
Mistel
don't know who
has
the
left
seller
group
is.
chat.
Dave, below that, I'm not gonna re-invite her. She doesn't deserve to have to deal with this.
So I get 760?
Are you sending, like, do you want to go to visit Bahinir with a portrait? What do you want to do? Because obviously you need to get it to him.
Unfortunately, I will go ahead and, yes, I'll visit Bahinir. What? Baby, he's mellowed out. What is the worst he could be like?
Do you want to take anyone with you, or is it just you, dear?
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna take protection.
What's protection? What's that mean?
Clara, you get a text from it here. Hey, Clara.
After denying being the seller too.
I'm gonna message back, am I talking to Adhera or the seller? Capital T, capital S.
Honestly, that might be my EK name. It's catching on now. But yes, you're talking to both.
Great. I think you're legally not allowed to call yourself the seller if most of your stuff is from the stealer, but carry on.
No, it's ironic.
It's ironic.
Maybe Bloodletter is actually a doctor.
Ooh.
Baby
That's a
Bloodletter
good
is actually
point.
a leech.
It's just a huge leech.
Oh no.
Just a giant. The spirit bear attuned to the spirit of leeches.
Finally, your rot skirt has competition.
I can't believe we're calling
So,
Terminus a parasite.
symbiote, perhaps. And so in here,
Yes.
you're inviting Clara to go to Bahinir's to deliver a stolen
Yes.
portrait.
The exact message would be, how willing are you to tolerate a visit to Bahinir's place just so I'm not walking into a trap or something more uncomfortable?
Clara's gonna pause, like, on her way back, put down the case that has her new weapon in, and sigh to herself audibly as she texts the words that she never thought she would ever find herself texting. Is it okay if I bring Caliban?
Probably for the best, yes.
Great. I'm gonna forward the message to Caliban with the caption, "The sender requires our presence. It's time for the announcement."
Caliban just types in Operation Wedding Bells as a go.
Jesus Christ.
Operation Wedding Bells is so grim.
Speaking of Grim, how is he holding up?
you have actually noticed a decline, like, having looked back for the last couple of months through newspaper articles about Grimm, about the S-rank 3rd class, you've noticed that he's done increasingly smaller amounts of high-profile missions, and then you think to the fact that he was, like, involved in this, like, internal affairs mission, and you start to realize, like, he's kind of being put out to pasture here. Like, he's getting old, and he's being given less missions, and he's making less public appearance. You having followed it, it feels like the city's getting ready to bench him. Or the judges, you could say.
Is it possible that Zeta might have had a hand in suggesting to the judges to get him slowly retired?
Having followed Zeta as well in the news, she's just high-profile arrest after high-profile arrest right now. She probably doesn't have many fans in the judges at present. You would think that if anything, if she asked for that, they'd do the opposite.
What would it... Kind of muttering to myself, I don't want to do this, but how much would it cost to visit her in person?
Zeta?
Yes.
It's not so much about cost here as you think about it. You'd have to just go to the Peacekeepers' headquarters that you knew she was at before and ask after her. Alternatively, you could try and get in contact with her, like, through Axel. Like, if you went to his office, maybe he has a way of getting in touch with her.
Okay.
It's not one of those things where it's like you can pay to get in contact with a officer of the Peacekeepers like her. It's more like you need to know someone.
I'll mention it to Axel later.
Dafer, after knowing that that's secure in, like, the club room, and Delphin being like, okay, yeah, you're good, this is all set up now, where would you head? Like, back to the dorm, or have you got something else you want to look at? Might have lost you, I said? Maybe muted?
I just turned off my mic. Dave, I think would mostly head back. We have afternoon-ish, right?
Yeah. Like, you guys basically probably had practice till about 3 or something like that, so it's like 4 o'clock-ish now, I would say, Dafer.
I think in that case, Dafer would mostly be spending some time to experiment with some alchemy in his cooking. If there's, I don't know, some kind of what kind of effect would work well with fish? I think just in general warming effect. Like if you had eaten something spicy that just warms and relaxes you from the inside out. If there's something like that that he could try to distill into some kind of effect for the fish dinner tonight, he would try. If that fails, then it's just gonna be a normal fish
I think
meal.
after 2 months of getting some actual information out of Umi as opposed to like going along with her eccentric whims, you eventually like coaxed her into like, actually teach me the fundamentals of this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to roll for something like that. So like a warming effect that sort of like is almost like the effect of like taking a hot bath, that sort of like relaxing warmth, basically. Yeah, you could definitely bake that into a fish, essentially, or into a cooked fish, I should say. While you are cooking and you've got your like universal base and stuff, and you're making the sauce that's going to go into the fish that's going to give it this imbuement, Seth walks over to you and hands you a newspaper. Says, you've been cutting out the political columns in the evenings, right? Thought you might want this. Everyone else has read it.
Oh, nice. Anything remarkable?
Just that, is it Valorous guy? He's been parroting whatever the Halig family has been saying. Honestly, the column is just absolutely chock full of noble talking points.
Valorous. I did notice that let's say he aligns suspiciously often with specific viewpoints. Mostly means he's interesting in the sense of what is going to be the party line, or the consensus line that's going to be pushed, but I don't think much more than that.
Yeah, they're talking about taking land from southern Trismere from the nobles that are there because of these attacks on the trains. They want to try and put it under noble houses here in the city. I think it's nonsense. What is that going to change? Nothing. It's EKs that need to do this work.
I wonder why they think they have the capacity to pull this off at the moment. We have enough issues as it is. Why do we need to agitate the Trismerian nobles? Like, they're not gonna plan an attack right now, but they are going to start looking for opportunities. It just makes no sense. Already in an attacked state with the paladins essentially forcing us to rational stuff. Why risk?
Seth looks over his shoulder to see if Caliban's there, and when he kind of sees that Caliban isn't, or is really wrapped up in his scroll, he says, well, let's be honest, the noble families are on the out. It's just a matter of time. Just looking for ways to make themselves relevant while they still can.
You think this is basically not really pushed for by the judges, but the nobles are just currying favors?
Yeah, I think that they're trying to find whatever benefit they can. You're right, it's chaotic at the moment, and that's more what they're using for cover than thinking about the long-term good it might do, more the short-term gain they can get.
Did they mention any names on who wants to govern these lands? Like, who's most likely going to be the beneficiary of this, and likely the one pushing most?
Small noble houses that are being mentioned, but frankly they're all under the bigger umbrellas. It's just a proxy.
Would any of the noble houses appear to me to belong to some kind of faction or allegiance that would
it's all Halig.
God damn it, Caliban.
God damn it, Caliban's dead.
Given that they are most currently one of the biggest supporters of the Academy, that does put us in a bit of a mess spot. Oh well.
That shrugs and says, gotta take it one day at a time.
And David just shakes his head. Put the paper down there. I'll put it. I'll take care of it after I'm done here.
He nods and just kind of slaps the paper down on the counter and then heads over for a game of chess with Noctis. Is there anything people want to do before that evening? Kind of getting together for a meal? In which case, you guys all gather at the table. Year 2's there, as well as probably some of them would have made a potato salad to go with the fish that Dafra did, or something like that, having split the cooking between them, and it's all dished out, and everyone's kind of chatting at the table and eating and catching up. Is there anything people want to bring up to anyone?
I would pull Caliban to the side at one point. Or sit myself besides Caliban from the get-go, I think. Caliban, does your dad talk to you about the goings-on every now and again.
Within the nobility, or
Yeah. Or what moves he plans to make.
not really? Though I try to keep myself in the loop every now and then. Why do you ask?
I'm not sure if you heard the news, but I mean, I think you definitely noticed that the train tracks that go from Trismere to this capital city have been getting attacked. Apparently, this is now being used as a front for putting some of the area around there under the control of Empress city nobility. There are some names in there that seem more like that is coming very much as a benefit to your dad.
That would make sense.
I'm wondering why your dad is making this calculation. I think as a whole, this puts Empress City more at risk, does it not?
I feel it
I'm
would.
trying to understand your dad here.
Give me a history check as well, Caliban.
Yeah, sure. Sure thing. History. Shit.
You know that some of the names that David brought up there used to be Trismerian nobles that left Trismere for the city thinking they could make more here. And so your dad has probably picked those people to give it some legitimacy. Yeah, I think that's all you can really get on a 7. I wouldn't expound further than that.
Mm-hmm. Do any of these names stick out?
No,
like for me
they're
specifically?
all small names. They've got angel weapons, but more like the basic sort of like normal angelic weaponry. They're nobles by technicality in a sense, like, and therefore they're very easy for your dad to control.
Hmm. I see.
I'm just trying mostly to understand the mindset of your father here. It seems to me like a pretty, like, sure, you gain some more level of control, but for Empress City as a whole, this seems more like a risky gambit, putting our allies at dissatisfaction at a time where we're already being attacked.
Right.
Or Empress City more likely is being attacked.
Caliban is just like trying to give it some thought.
You want to give?
Well, I can't say.
You can give me
Oh,
insight
yeah,
check
sure
on your
thing.
dad if you want.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Wow. Here's your dad.
I think what people are realizing right now, that they've kind of taken for granted for a really long time, Caliban, is how much the city relies on Trismere as its breadbasket. It's worked so smoothly for a really long time. Your dad is sort of gambling on the fact that if he takes this land and turns it into prime farming for the city, even if Trismere rebels, the Empress City will bail him out because of how important he's going to make the land be. As far as he sees, there's no downside to him, and he feels like the city could take whatever is kind of thrown at it, and he can give himself a leg up in that way.
So it's a what's the word? I can't seem to remember.
It's definitely it's like a very calculated gamble for the city, but it's win-win for your dad no matter what.
Yeah, and it's a contingency as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I echo these sentiments to Daver.
Okay.
No power player is out there for the good of it all. I guess is the lection to learn out of this one.
I mean, there's less scrutiny in his direction if it benefits everybody.
Yeah, but it is I mean, he is banking on the side effects, not the negative consequences, not hitting him and more hitting the city for him. It's the kind of play, I guess, that would be expected from a noble house.
As Caliban and Dafer are talking, Clara, you catch out the corner of your eye Cerberus. His big polar bear nose kind of like worming its way between the two of them as stealthily as possible with these fish dishes in front of them. You see it like the mouth like opens, the teeth there, the tongue starting to like push out to try and like scoop up what he can.
Can I make a roll to notice?
You make a perception check.
Perception.
20?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not so much you see, so much as all of a sudden you're like nudged slightly to the side, Caliban, as this big polar bear head is between the two of you.
And you said it was fish and what else?
You've got probably just the fish in front of you right now, Caliban. It's like the bowl's there with the serving spoon. You haven't picked anything up.
You know what? I'm gonna take a fish and I'm just gonna throw it to the...
Yeah. You just like drop the fish into its mouth and it like scampers back like I win, and like Clara, you also noticed that Cerberus has definitely been playing with the Drake that has come from Dulukop. He's got all this like grey dust in his fur, and the Drake kind of leaves this dust as a marking technique, and it's just like all in this white polar bear fur, this like thick caking of Drake dust, this slate Drake that you have had added to your menagerie.
Clara rolls her eyes at the idea of having to bathe a polar bear chimera, and instead is going to focus her attention on Adhira. So, tell me why you're sneaking off for secret meetings with your boyfriend, not boyfriend.
Sets down the fork with a piece of fish in it. So, me and Andres have been dating for the past 2 months. We've decided to move forward with ourselves.
Well, great. I mean, like, actually great, but rude. Why don't you say anything?
I know. I'm sorry. It was his idea to let things calm down a bit with the people who, well, got jealous and started rumors. And I didn't mind. I was happy with what I had.
I can't really blame you, I suppose. But I'm retroactively not happy about it.
Squints, what do you mean?
Well, now I just have to be pleased.
Terminus pops up between you and says, wait, I don't have to keep it a secret anymore?
Oh yeah, he knew. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to hide things from him.
It's been
Not you as well.
Yeah. The only reason I was able to keep the secret is because I knew keeping the secret from you would be just as rough as telling the secret that Adhira wanted to keep.
You could have told me in Sylvan.
I speak Sylvan!
Shut up!
I could have left a note.
You're not allowed to talk. I'm still angry at you.
The frog just like falls backwards onto the table like, I could have left a note. I'm so stupid.
I also... I didn't want to tell you immediately, because I know that, you have a weird thing going with Connor, it's that will they, won't they, that's...
I don't know what you're talking about.
You see just the faintest narrowing of the eyes. Roll deception.
I don't like doing it this way, Ray.
Wait a moment.
What?
You hypocrite!
I stuck my neck out for you. You were just being nosy. That's different.
You're using words to make me feel bad.
Yes, correct.
Noctis breathes a sigh of relief and says, I don't have to pretend I haven't seen the two of you at the theatre practicing together. And he does practice in air quotes, Clara.
Okay. It happened when we went to Kathy's concert.
That's poor timing.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but it wasn't really that poor of timing. It kind of felt good to have something immediately to focus on elsewise. Otherwise, I might have panicked and given it away 2 months earlier.
Get rid of all the nervous energies.
I had plenty of nervous energy.
Terminus says, let's redirect this back towards Atira.
Ah, yes.
Andrus said that Atira should move in with him.
Sorry, what?
Okay, let me phrase that in a much better and clearer way. They're finishing construction on the Year 1 dorms, and there would be space for all of us to move over with our fellow year mates. So I thought I'd ask if anyone wanted to move over as a group. The other side of this is that quite like our Year 2 friends, you know? They're great. And it's not the longest distance to sneak over to their dorms.
Yeah, okay, you're fooling anybody with that.
Tamara, who's kind of like sat next to Noctis across the other side, just says, the dorms would feel empty without you guys, but I mean, if you want to be with your year, I understand.
I don't know. It would feel weird to split us up, but I only really have one friend in first year. And we started off actively hating each other.
How far away is our dorms from theirs, like in feet?
It's actually kind of the opposite side of the campus because of the way the buildings are structured. Like, you're on opposite sides of the central building. The first year dorms are kind of near the entrance gate.
Well, hey, how about we go and see them when construction is finished? I mean, maybe it'll be a complete no-brainer. Maybe they'll be like fancy double rooms or something.
Really, really nice upgrades.
Tamara says,
we probably need to socialize more anyway.
Tamara does say, if there's a hot tub, I probably won't hold it against you.
But the workshops are basically 3 minutes from my dorm room.
Like a manufactured hot spring.
Ooh. It's like a weird addition to put in.
Tamara nods, but it says, that's my caveat. If there's a hot tub, then I won't blame you.
But otherwise, we're totally getting blamed?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That seems fair.
I'd have to move the imp I have hidden away in the spice cabinet.
You did what?
I heard the spice cabinet is involved. What is it about?
Have you been finding the spice over the past few months?
I
think a few people look down at their fish.
It did not interfere with me adding specific effects to the food, so what should I be worried about?
As you say, awesome. It shouldn't be a problem.
As you say,
know,
awesome?
I don't know.
You do know that if one of my solutions suddenly negatively interacts with, I don't know, unexpected contaminants in one of my spices, there could be negative side effects.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Negative side
You're
effects,
eating
negative
those,
side effects.
just
As Seth
as
is
a
like,
reminder.
as Seth is like looking at their fish after you're saying that, Delphin just kind of looks at him and says, "You gonna eat that?" Like, he's like hand thirds, and he's kind of like looking over at Seth's plate.
It'll most likely be fine. I mean, I've already eaten mine as well. I'm just not thrilled not knowing what I'm putting into the food. Adhira.
Seth shrugs and says, "Tastes good, I guess," and then like continues to eat.
Why the spice drawer?
The spice what?
I don't know, it's just sort of out of the way, and it feels like, spices, hot things, it's where it would be happy.
You sound conflicted, Uther, if anything.
just a series of unfortunate gasps. You guys. Oh, go on.
No, it just that was it. Just disbelief, confusion.
You guys continue to eat and hang out as kind of like night peters in. It gets towards the end of the day. Saturday tomorrow, is there anything you guys want to discuss about doing on your free day?
It's a Saturday, so I think it would be like typical church visit, dinner cooking, or food cooking day. Given I'd be arriving during lunch, I'd try to go for something energizing, some or refreshing effect. It's actually no, it's summer. It would be a cooling effect, assuming it's a hot day out.
Yeah, gotcha. Alright. I forgot to mention, Dafer would have invited Caliban to do combat classes more regularly at the church, right?
If Caliban willing.
Yeah, so that's the question. Caliban, would you do that? Head to the church, like, every weekend or every other weekend to do more combat classes for the people there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. In which case, Caliban will be there as well.
I will take the new shell keyword.
Yes, you can, yeah.
And replace the amorphous.
I can't remember what we decided on. Was it that you were going to have a keyword that was for you, or a keyword that was for the group? I can't remember what we...
I didn't get the 20 DC, so I think it's just for me.
It's just for you, yeah, that's right. I thought that was the case, I just wanted to double check. Okay. Did you guys want to go see Bahir this weekend, Clara, Adhira? And I guess if you wanted to ask Caliban, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, good
we
for
did,
that.
we did get the text, and I did agree to it.
Oh, sorry, yes. So I guess, do you guys want to go like later on in the day after Caliban's done the church stuff? Is that the plan?
I think that would
If we
be
can
reasonable.
set it up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, in which case, you guys head to bed, having kind of sorted out some bits and bobs. When Saturday comes, you wake up to the sound of people kind of yelling and marching around the academy from the outside. You can hear a chant essentially protesting the lack of action against the paladins of the Empress. There are people who are struggling because of what is going on, that are beginning to sort of ask the judges to take more extreme measures with what is going on the trains, essentially in the north. And there are protests kind of around the eye districts that have been going on every now and again. This morning seems to be one of them. As you guys wake up, there's like a crowd that's kind of moving around, and you can hear some chants to do with that on the outside. Other than that, things seem to be a normal Saturday morning. There we go, got it out.
Well, train travel is going to be a bit finicky today, but we can always take the next train station if need be. Just going to be a bit of a
come
walk.
to a head really soon, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, with how the protesting rules are set out here, I feel like the judges can ignore this a very long time until somebody starts getting radicalized.
Well, Dafer, as you said, with the protesting rules, you're in I1. What they're doing out there is illegal. That's...
Oh!
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
not realized.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This month. Oh, in that case, definitely revise that last sentence. I mean, if they're already willing to get arrested, then we're already in escalation level 1. If this gets ignored for much longer, somebody's going to take action.
That's what I mean. The fallout is
Yeah.
imminent. I don't know whether
You're right.
I can't decide if I wish that we're here for it, because people need a lot of help, or if we're really far away.
Seth kind of looks over and says, I know the headmistress was talking about some of the students doing the policing of the demonstrations here rather than the peacekeepers. She said she's trying to push for a more active role in the community here. I think that will be a good way of de-escalating things, to be honest.
Would it be? How? I mean, I haven't gotten yet to how we EKs are seen by the public in general, but
Tamara
wouldn't
just
that be
kind of says, peacekeepers won't be gentle.
Ooh. I guess we do have the benefit of being able to tank everything they can dish out and then some.
Seth nods and says, when you're strong enough, there's nothing they can really do against you, but I think more importantly, I trust the people here more than some bad actors within the military.
I don't like the idea of filling in for the role of police, but if the alternative is the peacekeepers handling them, then...
Seth shakes his head and says, nah, it's the year 3s that'll be doing it.
Talk about a very big overkill in terms of capability required.
Well, you say that.
Seth just says, my sister can handle it. I trust her.
Daver nods.
What do you guys want to do? Your day ahead?
Calvin's going out for the church
heading
combat
to the
practice,
church,
right?
Yeah, so you guys
Mhm.
you guys will head to Bahimir in the evening.
I'll do most of my early days just sort of gardening.
I had a thought. Did we ever look into that?
What do you think?
Do you remember if we discussed the rune that was on the crystal gravity golem?
I don't think we got any further than that. I think you had it copied down, but I don't think anyone looked into it.
Yeah, okay. So if I'm not weighed down by projects right now, so I think I will look into that.
Okay. Uther, heading into your room, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. 16.
16. You open up like some of your drawers, pull out a bunch of paperwork, kind of start sifting through it. You kind of push past all the clippings about the sin attack that you were looking into, like past notes that you had on it as well. You see, as you're rifling through it, that some of the like summaries of actions that were taken, as far as you could ever work out from what you're kind of like gazing past as you're looking for this old rune from back then 2 months ago, they wanted to do like a big field test, essentially, of this new ability with the miasmic they had, Uther, and they were probably using the Glomides, like supplying them with technology, doing a little bit of exchange, but also using them to smuggle in as much material, as much miasmic as possible in order to do like a really big field test, because they also wanted to capitalize on like the surprise as well, right? Like try and get some other stuff done.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1
makes
stone.
sense.
It's just that your guys' actions kind of made it so they were like, oh, we're not going to be able to get any more than this. And there's every possibility that the investigation will continue to turn up stuff that we've done. Let's pull the trigger now and do the test and see if we can get anything else out of it. But if all we get is, you know, it works, then that's enough for us at this point. So basically you guys, by choosing to be involved in the investigation, forced them to kind of pull this trigger early. Otherwise there would have been a time in the future where a much bigger, much worse, more coordinated, probably more wide-reaching attack would have happened on the city. That's kind of the conclusion.
Something that would have actually destabilized something.
Yeah, or maybe they would have managed to get like miasmic into the arcane district and taken out like one of the mines or processing plants or something like that, right? Like for now it was contained to like I1 and I2, so yeah, that's pretty much the conclusion you ended up drawing with there.
That makes sense.
Looking at the rune, one of the main things you're able to deduce is like there must have been an inverse version of the rune somewhere on the golem as well, but due to the way it was destroyed, you never found that. But what this rune can do is, if it's inscribed on thrown weapons, is it will remove the disadvantage. You know, like Sharpshooter has that effect where it's like there's no disadvantage on the further range. You can use it to like make the weapon fly better at a distance, basically.
So basically, any of the thrown objects the gravity golem was doing didn't have range issues.
Exactly, yeah. So if you were to put it on your bladed discs, for example, and that would mean that your range was 90 without an issue, right? I think it's 30-90 that we're doing on the thrown stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Let's see what I have.
It might be 2060. I can't remember which it is.
I assume it's 2060. Most stuff, thrown stuff, is 2060. I don't actually have the range marked
it's
down,
2060.
but I
I
think
just
it's...
sort of misremembered.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that seems to be what it's useful for, as far as you can tell.
I will push that to the group chat if anyone is using thrown stuff besides me.
Yeah, it's just you, I think. Unless
Just-
Akira puts Throne back on his scythe.
I'm tempted. Though I don't know if I would get rid of my Wraithwood or not. I'm
Could always wait for the next.
Mechanically, I
Keyword.
fall under that group, but I
It
don't.
doesn't
I,
quite
like
work for
narratively,
yours,
it
yeah,
does not.
Dave,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree.
I'll think about
All
it.
right. It is an option on the table. I guess I'm going to the workshop to have updates to my throne stuff.
Yeah, you go get some machining and engraving tools and
Laser engraver go burn.
I wish that would be really cool. I guess technically they could do that in this setting with Crystal. You just have like a radiant focused beam or something. Dave are heading to the cooking club. Several people from the club are there, and you can see that they're like doing prep for like you would have like written what you were cooking like on a board ahead of time, I imagine, Dave. So they're like peeling potatoes and like doing whatever mise en place for setting up the meal basically when you arrive. Look over. Delphin is there, but he's more just like tinkering with this cooker, basically, like messing around with it, seeing how the various like knobs and dials work on it, basically, and like looking inside at the fire growing and shrinking. And looks at you and says, "Oh, everyone's here."
Sweet. We're gonna use this. And like I point at the massive pressure cooker.
He nods and says, "If you don't mind, we've got to try it out at some point."
Well, we do have a lot of potato mash to make.
He's like, "Yeah, you can probably bake the potatoes and mash them. Normally we boil, but
Yeah.
why not?"
I think it goes fast in a pressure cooker.
Let's find out. He's just like, once all the potatoes are peeled, just like throws them in a pot and shoves them in there.
Yeah.
It's fine. Caliban, do you also go to the cooking club to help out because you're heading to the church, or is that something you want to do that morning beforehand?
I might as well. Okay. Though I also do want to see how Caliban does with cooking.
Caliban, give me a survival check.
Oh boy.
9. Caliban, you are decidedly okay at peeling potatoes. You are not awful, you're not special. I think the problem is, like, stood next to a bunch of people who go to the cooking club regularly. I just, like, stood there, like, casually talking about it with, like, a knife and just, like, twirling the potato and, like, the skin's, like, coming off perfectly. And then you, like, cut it and there's, like leftover waste every time you cut it, Caliban. Your cuts are like precise, but like you just like cut them into cubes rather than anything else. But yeah.
Damn.
Good
enough, I suppose.
It'll do. Clara, was there anything you wanted to do that morning? Whether you wanted to take your whip out for a test, I guess maybe that's the...
She has a car?
Yes, I will. I'll go run some test things with this weapon.
Okay. Are you using arrows, or are you using some sort of like when you pull the string, energy like condenses into a solid form or something like that, Clara? How are you doing this?
Clara's a traditionalist. It's probably an arrow.
Okay.
Or at least, like, even if it is energy, it's probably energy in the form of an arrow.
Yeah, I got you. More like it sort of like fabricates solid arrows instead of anything.
Yes.
Yeah, heading into the sparring area, you realize there isn't like a dedicated shooting range and sparring area. So like your weapon, if you wanted to test out either sides, like you'd be firing at closer targets with the bow, unless you wanted to like head to the firing range instead. It's up to you.
No, that's fine. I can practice on closer targets.
Yeah.
Clara is Clara's had a lot of practice aiming at things really far away anyway.
Yeah, true. And you've trained with a bow before, right? You would have gone hunting and stuff and
Yes.
used a bow, yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah. The weapon's a little heavier than you're used to, like, a bow being. With it being these, like, intersecting spinal vertebrae that have been sharpened and shaved down into a, like, blade-like form. But also you're a lot physically stronger than you were before you had your shell. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're getting used to the weight, Clara, things start getting a little bit easier. I think it's the whip form that you find most interesting. Give me a wisdom check.
Oh yeah. 19.
As you like mech shift it and the motor goes and the tension comes out and the two sides of the spinal column kind of like loosen and yet also snap back together so it like folds back around into this whip form, you feel the codex grip sort of like flare a little, and you feel that connection to each of the pieces of metal along the spinal column. And as much as you could manipulate your weapon through the air, you can feel the individual control you have over each piece of this whip. Each segment is connected to you in a way that feels almost like you have a prehensile tail, but it's at the end of your hand instead. That like you start to like look at it and it moves in a way that matches some of your thought, but it's very different. Like it's very alien feeling, Clara.
Whoa. That's cool.
Would you like to practice just using it as a weapon, or would you like to practice the like moving it around with your mind?
I think I've accepted that she's gonna have to be clunky with it as an actual weapon. So, discovering that this is a possibility, I'm gonna focus on mind moving it.
Yeah. Spending some time, would you to like practice like either like picking up weights or like a water bottle or something like that? Like what would you, how would you set this up, Clara, this test of yours?
I think, yeah, I think there's 3 sort of tests that she might want to run with this. One is like, can you pick stuff up? Like, can you use it as like a prehensile thing? If you can, how fine of a motor control can you get with this thing? Like, can it? I'm trying to think of some. Like, can it hold like a paintbrush, or can it like play the keys on a piano? Like, how deft can you get it?
Yeah. Spending some time that morning messing with it, you find that there's quite a bit of fine detail into like the directions and stuff you can move it. Like you can really snake it back and around and like even like get it to turn a full 180 degrees and kind of like move back over your shoulder and things like that. The difficulty you're having is like when you apply pressure, because it's so sharp, you're not used to like how easily it kind of cuts through things. So if you try and like pick up a bottle, for example, you can do so, but also it's just as easy to like shear through it in a sense. So there's some practice in like how much actual pressure is needed for this to bite and then not cut through, basically, is what you spend a lot of time on, Clara. But yeah, it seems to be almost like a fully functioning appendage that you have gained here with this whip.
Nice.
Adhira, you went to garden that morning.
Yes.
Your gardening area is like right next to the outside Flan Club area, and as you look over in your gardening, you see Mistle playing with this. It's about the size of like a really big house cat right now, like Maine Coon, like big,
Chonk.
yeah, like chunky. It's a draconid creature. It's the drake in particular. It's like a jet black with grey in sections of its scale. So it's like black around the outside of the scale, and then like a dusty coal grey in the middle. And it keeps like rubbing its body against different objects to leave this coal residue behind, and Mistle at present is like trying to get it to, like, she wipes something off and puts it down and is like, don't mark, and it like immediately like rolls across the top of it. She's like wipes it off and puts it back down again as this creature like looks at her as she's like trying to be like, no, if you don't do it, I give you this. And she like gives it this like small chunk of meat that she's got, and is like trying to reinforcement training this drake to not coal and like dust up everything it comes across, basically.
I'll watch for a few moments, see the pattern repeat itself, and then walk up and just say, I've never seen one of those before.
She looks over at you here and says, my family keeps them. Mum has quite a few. This is a slate drake, to be specific. I have to admit, I've never seen one of these before. Normally, my mother keeps more metallic ones.
This becomes the dragon, yes?
She shakes her head no. Says, at its biggest, it'll be, well, maybe 4 times the size. This one's still, I guess you could call it a pup.
Approaching, getting closer, are there any more details I can pick out about this one?
Its features are very hidden. So, like, the eyes are under hoods of the stony brows, basically. So, like, the eyes are kind of retreated and sunk into the skull, which gives it this weird... You know those worm snake things, like the big slow worms, where there's like no features whatsoever? It kind of looks like that from a distance. It's got this like shovel head to it. The teeth, it's definitely like a predatory animal. It seems to definitely have this like fierce territory sense about it, but at the same time it's very playful about it. It just wants to mark everything with this dust, and every time it moves, some of this dust comes off of the scales, and you can see that the dust originates from the central point. This like every single scale has darkness and then gray in the middle, and all of them produce this like fine dust as it's moving around.
She's going to reach her hand out and attempt to get it comfortable with her before petting it, sort of stroking, get some of that dust on her hand.
Yeah, give me an animal handling check.
Do I get bit? I don't.
It seems more eager to be pet than it is wary of you, Akira. And like, you know, like when you have a cat and you like you go to stroke it, and instead of like, it like head nudges you instead, so it like forces its head into your hand harder to be pet harder. That's exactly what happens with this drake. It like purposely starts like rubbing this dust all over your hand, and when you look at it, you look like you've got like a chimney sweep style hand, like you've been picking up coal and like throwing it into a furnace. You've got, like sooty hands, basically, Akira.
I take it that I should wash my hands after this.
And you say so. Well, I mean, technically it's completely harmless.
Oh, okay, that's good. Immediately, hand drop back down to her side, uncaring about the dirt or smudge.
It's it prevents fire. It prevents things from burning, essentially.
This thing's called a coal drake?
Slate.
Slate. I take it then they are used more publicly? I don't know the right term for it, but...
Their native home is a forest at the base of a volcano. Their dust prevents the the forest from burning anytime there's a small eruption, essentially. They're part of the ecosystem there.
That's neat.
I think so.
I'll play with it and pet it for a while.
Playing with it, petting it. Give me a perception check. You don't notice it at first. So eventually you stop playing with it, you head back to gardening, and you didn't wash your hands. And as you're going and looking after some of the plants, you notice that any of the plants that you have touched with this dusty hand seem to stand up a little straighter. Like some of the flowers that were drooping before seem to be doing better.
And bit of a tall ask, but is there any way I can intuit why?
Give me a nature check.
Nature.
You cannot work out why, but you can draw the link that any of the flowers that you got some of that dust on, the dust isn't there, and the plant seems to be doing a little better.
Gonna look around, and I am going to move off towards my mother's tree.
Yeah. You find it? Go on.
I am going to tend to it and get as much of the remaining dust on it as possible.
Trees are much larger and much more complex than the flowers you saw the effect on. However, the dust does seem to disappear after being spread on the tree. There's no immediate visual effect at Hero, but you can tell it's done something.
I pet the tree lovingly and then return to gardening before... Mistel's still in earshot, right?
Yeah, by the time you're done gardening, you can see that Mistel's made some progress. That it's not immediately going for the thing. It basically waits for her to give approval before it dusts over the object that she's been putting down and repeatedly cleaning.
Well, if you want to have something it can train on what not to and what to mark, you can try the garden. I don't know if you know why the dust makes the plants grow better, but they're taller than before.
She looks at you and says, "Strange. No, never heard of anything like that."
Okay, so this is new.
Well, just because I haven't heard of it doesn't mean there's something that someone else doesn't know. I appreciate the vote of confidence, though, Atir. I'll tell you what, I need to brush it. My mother was quite explicit about brushing it every day. I'll keep some of the dust from it for you if you'd like.
Please.
Okay, that was a little desperate, but alright.
There's something I want to see. If it works on plants, I want to see if it can work on a tree. I just might need more than a handful, so to say.
There's a lot to brush off, I promise you that. I'll try and get a bucket full or something.
Just dump it on a tree. Grow!
And she gets this big fluffy bristle brush and starts sweeping it down as the drake very much stretches out on the ground and just stays completely still. Yes, this is
Oh, I was imagining, have you seen those videos of turtles being brushed by toothbrushes?
They, do the back and forth little dance thing.
Yeah.
No, not quite like that. It just seems to be yes, I should be pampered with this brush, and yes, that does feel good as it just lays there.
Alright.
Dafer and Caliban and some of the people from the club would carry the cooked food over to to the church. On arrival there, Dafer, you can see that there are more people here than there were last week, and there were more people here than the week. Like, it's been getting more and more people at the church lately, Dafer. As food rationing has kind of kicked in and prices have gone up, more and more people are coming here for the food. And therefore, when you and like 4 other people with armfuls come in, there's a big like hubbub around it, essentially. Lots of people say thank you, it's taken from you. You see Fiona over in one corner, and she seems to be working on like it's like a little embroidery. I forget what that's called. It almost looks like a tambourine, right? Where it's like a wooden disc, and then there's some fabric stretched over it. And she's sat there, like, very, very focused to the point where she doesn't, like, notice you at all, Dafer, or, like, the hubbub that's going on where she's, like, passing this needle backwards and forwards. She's still quite young, and you can tell she's a little scared of this needle, but seems to be stitching.
Embroidery hoop? Is that what you're talking about? The wooden thing?
Looking into the rune that she is stitching, what does it look like she's going for?
From what you can see, it's a rune that, like, if you were to wipe the fabric over clothing, it would, like, remove, it almost, like, clean the clothes without having to wash it, in a sense. It's like a rune for, like, removing dirt and debris.
I wait a little in order to not break her concentration. Does she look like she's close to finished, or?
She's got, like, she's doing the outline right now. She needs to do the thing where, like, you fill everything. So right now, she's doing the hardest part that she's kind of finished up at this point. The next bit will just be, like, going through the motions, really. But yeah, she puts down the pin, and, like, takes a deep breath, like, finished.
Oh, it's looking good. I hadn't thought of a cleaning room, but yeah, makes sense.
Mom says I always get my stuff dirty when I play in the street, so I thought maybe this would help.
Allows you to play all you want without any of the negative repercussions.
Yeah.
Resourceful. Really nice idea.
How you doing, Dafer?
I'm doing fine. The group surrounding here has grown quite a bit over the last couple weeks. How are you coping with that?
She nods and says, lots of new kids, lots of new friends, lots of people need to be told, you know, the ropes and stuff, as grown-ups say. And well, you know, I've been here longer, so I'm kind of in charge. She kind of like shakes her head, like, look how important I am.
Becoming a pillar of the community. Ambitious.
No, just the boss.
Or rather praiseworthy. Any other projects that you plan on playing around with? Any of the bark shoes still on the project list?
Mum said no to the bark shoes. She can't like.
Oh.
She like crosses her arm and like huffs a little. She sits back in her seat. But she said I could put it on a ball, so I might add it to a ball.
Bark ball?
Yeah, a bark ball. You kick the ball, it goes bark.
Oh, it could make for a good game.
I think I'll call the game Bark Ball.
And then you could be the one that is the only person capable of producing these bark balls necessary for the game.
And then I'll be boss of 2 things.
Perfect. Uh-huh.
She kind of like nods sagely to herself.
But the new kids are doing all right, not giving you any trouble.
Nah. He kind of like looks around and says, some of them tried taking some of my stuff, but she kind of looks at you and says, I told them it was from you, and they were like, oh no, and then they ran away. So she shrugs.
Dave gets like a short, worried look at that, given that that means they're that he doesn't know what kind of kids those were. But he's happy that Fiona managed to handle that. Gives a like a reassuring smile. If anything happens at all, you just know that you can always come to like any of the grown-ups here.
Mm-hmm. You got your away time soon, yeah?
Yeah, we don't exactly know where we'll go yet, but it won't be too long.
She kind of nods and looks down at this thing that she's been stitching and says, I'll try and finish it before you go, so you can see.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, do you want to look at Caliban showing up some of the meaner adults here?
Fancy man?
Yeah.
Fancy? Excuse me.
Yeah, she'll sit and watch Caliban give another lesson. There are some people here that have purchased swords, nothing to the quality of what you have, but like something to defend themselves if a miasmic came running in. You know, it's sharp, it'll do the job. And I guess Caliban, you just continue to teach them swordplay, I presume.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to, like, what kind of swords do they have? Like,
more like a longsword type thing as opposed to the rapier that you have.
I guess I'll just like pick up a long sword and just like try to like manage to teach them in a way that they'll be able to use what they have, rather than try to use something that I have.
You're obviously like an expert in what they would call court fencing, but you probably would have been trained in any kind of style you could have got your hand on, and your parents would have gotten you tutors for any kind of thing you would have wanted. So I imagine, Dafer, this would maybe be some of the first times you've seen Caliban use another weapon other than their regular, and he still has a very good grasp on how to use these weapons. So it seems to be whatever Caliban picks up, he is proficient in it.
Gives Dafer definitely some newfound appreciation, given that like Dafer himself is solid in one fighting style that works for him specifically, rather than being like a jack of all trades.
Once that's sort of all wrapped up and sorted, three of you are heading to go visit Bathmere in the Stone Rose district. That leaves Dafer and Uther. Is there anything you want to do with your evenings while the rest of your group is sort of off in another region of the city?
Having done an alchemy experiment the day before, I think Dafer would spend this evening speaking with not Delphin, Dylan. About how they want to proceed with like doing the Emberic shard encasing, but for the more unstable shell-stripped versions of Emberic shards.
Yeah.
Since we didn't manage to do that yet.
Dafer, heading into the workshop, you find Dylan has this. It looks like a oversized revolver cylinder, so it's got those like cutouts of like channels along the outside, almost like a huge extended cog with a hollow space in the middle. As you walk in, he has a series of these amber planes that have been shaved down. Looks at you as you come in and says, Dafer, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine so far. Some more people arriving at the church as of late, but all good overall.
Keeps you busy,
How
at
you
least.
Yeah. I mean, not as busy as you, Mr. Wyn's first place.
He grins and says, I'll be honest, it came as a shock, but one I'm happy about.
I mean, I hope those let's say commercial opportunities that you're getting will help you out in the long run.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you, man. You deserve it.
I'm not sure what to do about it. A bunch of different companies have come forward and offered to essentially buy the rights to produce it, but I don't think I want to do that. I mean, I want to see it used. I don't know. I was hoping there was some way I could find a way to just distribute it freely, but I have to admit the machining used to build the capsules that I'm trying to create is complicated. It'll take a lot of money for people to set it up in the first place. Kind of like size. Go on.
There are ways. I think I've read here and there that there are ways to more openly license various things. And yes, while it might cost some money to set up, it allows the opportunity, I don't know, for some more well-off person in the stacks that has like a company to make a big investment and, I don't know, distribute shell casings that way.
He nods. It's like, I might try visiting some of the industrial sites along the stacks, like you said. Maybe I can find somewhere that looks like it's got the right machining and talk to the person directly. I don't know. I just like to know what I'm dealing with, face to face.
Personal licensing then.
He nods. Anyway, I would like to show you what I have come up with. If you're game?
Ooh. Absolutely.
So, as we know, these offcuts are unfortunately a good 70% of what I produce. And they have their uses, they just can't be used en masse. What I have discovered is if I can put them into a compressed chamber and distribute the, unbalanced load evenly, I can create something that can be used more freely. Essentially, it's a bunch of unstable stuff piled up in a way that makes it stable again.
Okay, and what capacity of charge in comparison to the normal shards with casings are we talking about?
Roughly 10 times the output.
That makes Dafer's eyes go wide. And none of this is blowing up on you?
Well, technically, I've not sealed one yet, so no, and also maybe.
I see the crux of things.
Yeah, it's kind of a material problem, I think, and also measuring the exact how much is in each of these, and he like holds up different chunks.
So trying to balance these out is currently a manual process, I assume.
Yes, but I have hope that once I can do it once, I can find a way to replicate it.
Yeah, I mean, I can. The criteria by which you distribute that load is based on the charge that you perceive the individual shards to have.
You got it.
In that case, I think we could try to set up some kind of measurement device in general and then sort them into batches that way. once you have them sorted, you can just recombine those sorted amounts.
He nods. I just need to find a way to measure it, and that's problem one.
I think I'll leave that part to you, while I'll try to think of the material bits to contain that amount of raw power.
Yeah,
I assume I'll be the one that tests that.
You find anything on your travels or anything like that that you think might be a good fit as well, you let me know. Bring it back.
Will do. And then hope that whatever device we come up with doesn't end up, I don't know, giving, like, let's say, a shockful reverberation.
And that's where your incredible ability to be electrocuted and not really care too much, Dafer, will come in hand.
Happy to be here.
Me too. You know how much rubber you have to wear?
Oh, imagine the amount of... I mean, you wouldn't even be knowing for certain if that rubber wouldn't get burned through. That's the worst part.
Honestly, the worst part is the complaints I get about the ozone smell.
Oh god, yes. So bad. Well.
Occupational.
Material.
And then he'd sit and work with you for a while if you want, Dafer. Just kind of sit side by side and tinker with some stuff.
I think, just not too mentally invested, Dafer would throw out some suggestion or ballpark play around with ideas on how like the measurement could work, like what principles you could try to abuse in order to get some kind of sorting mechanism going that would be more automatic than manual.
He would sit and discuss that with you for the evening.
Yeah.
Uther, was there anything in particular you wanted to...
Yeah, I'm gonna look into. I am going to harass one crescent again.
Okay.
Because of something that I read. Now I have a curiosity.
Heading into Visitor, I imagine it's probably a somewhat frequent occurrence, Uther, that you would head in here across the last 2 months. Guards just let you in. When you head in,
I'm leaving all my weapons with them.
when you head in, I didn't think I mentioned, but Axel absolutely would have had the permission to allow her to walk around sometimes. So, you guys would have been occasionally on walks around East Academy with her as well at this point. So she's seen some of what's outside a little bit more than just the attack when she first showed up. She sees you walk in and just says, "Happy Saturday. I guess you've got plenty of free time on the weekends, huh?"
More so now that I'm not doing 3 projects at the same time.
She nods. She says, "I've got nothing but free time," which at first was horrible, but I've been working on some stuff.
Oh.
She basically holds up a big stack of papers, and you can see that she has been writing.
Oh.
It's a murder mystery.
That checks.
He's the one.
That checks out. Yeah. No. Of course you would. I would like to ask you a uncomfortable question.
Exciting. What is it?
How have you been feeling since after the attack?
Furrows her brow. Thinks for a moment. abandoned, lost in purpose, bored, annoyed, angry, a little bit sad at times.
But still you, yeah?
What a strange question. Who else would I be?
No, that's all I want to know. There could have been apparently a side effect or two after the concoction that was used to get you stable again, and I didn't find out about it until recently, so I wanted to check to see how you had been handling things.
Give me an insight check, Luther.
That's another one of those things I am going to have to work on at this rate.
9. There's some flicker of contemplation there, Uther. You're not able to place it, but there is a moment of like recollection of a thing she can think of that she then squashes.
I saw something there, but I assume you don't want to talk about it?
Well, I don't think it's anything problematic. I just think that, well, whatever was used on me to bring me back, it obviously reattached my limb, right?
Yes.
Well, she takes off her eye patch, and underneath is this solid, like, silver eye in a place of where there was once upon a time nothing. I noticed this when I was cleaning my patch.
Is that recent, or...
I really don't know. I don't think it was there when I first woke up in the bed, but I mean, I don't clean the patch that often, to be honest. I probably should clean it more. I can't see through it or anything.
I was about to ask, and I'm just going to kind of do like, you know, like when the doctors like follow the finger kind of thing.
There's
with
no
that
pupil. It's like pure. It almost looks like actual metal, like a silver ball in the socket, basically.
I have the invasive thought to almost like touch at it, but like I know for a fact I would break someone's finger for that, so I'm not going to.
I tell you what, give me an intelligence check, Uther.
Intelligence.
4.
No fucking clue.
That specific silver seems really like annoyingly familiar. Like, you know, like when you've got like a Dulux color tester and it's got like a name to it. And, like you're looking at this eye and you're like, oh man, I know that color. So, but it's like you just can't place it at all, Uther.
It's not Caliban silver, is it, Waldorf?
The same color as his hair.
That's what it says that Sherwin-Williams paints. It says Caliban silver.
Man, that's an awfully specific color tag.
Oh my god, it's gone like that.
But no, I failed the intelligence check, so like it'll have to be after I leave the room that it hits. So like,
and she says, "Yeah, like I can't see through it at all."
have you told any of the medical staff?
What, that I can't see out of my... No, what's different?
No, that you have a metal orb in your eye socket now.
Well, no. Do you think it's important?
Most people don't grow metal orbs in their eye sockets.
Most people don't come back from the dead, Uther. It looks like actual silver. It isn't metal. It is an eye that is silver. To be specific, it's an eye. It is silver, but it's so silver that it looks metal. If I'm like trying to be very specific about it. Yeah, that it's just solid silver, but the color, not the metal.
All right, that's concerning. I probably should. I'm not going to tell the medical staff. You haven't told the medical staff. We're going to pretend the medical staff don't need to know. I probably need to have a word or two with a certain Caliban about this, though.
Oh boy.
She kind of looks at you and says, "The fancy man?
The fancy man.
What has he got to do
The
with
stuff
my
they
eye?"
The stuff they used on you was meant to be used if something happened to him.
Well, yeah, he's a noble. I guess they would wait to use the good stuff on him, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's concerning. So, about your murder mystery book.
Yeah, he gets away with it. She smiles big.
Of course, that's your bias.
It's more realistic.
I don't know the statistics off the top of my head to argue with that.
I wouldn't trust those. She kind of waves her hand.
Yeah, that'll be that.
Um,
I will attack Caliban at a later time.
Speaking of, Caliban, Clara, and Atira are currently in the underground, I guess, heading by train towards Stone Rose District. As you would expect, there are delays, it takes a bit longer, but eventually you do get through to the district itself. You know that Bahanir is staying in, like, one of the high-rise buildings here. You can see it from anywhere in the Stone Rose District, and he's apparently in, like, the penthouse-like apartments in the top of the building, Caliban.
Great.
Atira, before we, I suppose, go and do this, I should probably tell you the reason that I asked Calaman to come.
Huh? Oh. The girl just staring at these ostentatious huts. What was that?
Clara, like, come on.
He's...
Are we awake?
Jingle jangle.
We are going to attempt to gather some information, and it requires fabricating the truth.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you now, so that you don't get too thrown off. We're going to tell him that Caliban and I are engaged.
At the moment you say that, Clara, everyone hears a shocked croak noise from Atira's pocket. Just like this, like dramatic croak. Adira breaks out into manic laughter.
Oh, she laughs for a good while. That's a good one.
What?
You're serious?
Yes.
Well, that's one way to do it. How does this work?
Well, he evidently is overstepping his marks to get access to artifacts and things he can sell. The heiress to another country is certainly enough to pique his interest.
And so you think it'll make him open up more, see an opportunity and take it?
I think it will put the credit signs in his eyes and make him careless.
We'll talk about the hilarity of his situation later. What do you need me to do?
Actually, just nothing. Sell him your painting like normal. I just thought if I told you and you'd have laughed directly in his face when we were in there, might have ruined the plan.
Yeah, that would have been a bit of a shock.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Poor Mistle.
The little frog terminus pops out of the vessel and says, "Do you two have rings?"
No.
He reaches into the vessel, like he's rifling around in a bag, Atira, as he reaches, and he pulls out two absolutely gorgeous engagement rings, silver band with stones and all, like diamonds on the top, and holds them out to the two of you. I've got these.
I'm sorry,
Why
can you pulling it out on me?
Do you want them?
What the hey, man?
Ignore her. She would sell them instantly, and I like them.
What the hey, man?
Do you know how long it takes diamonds to decay back into carbon? No, you don't. I like diamonds.
There is like a constant stream of angry, like Lamshi, like a very upset Hispanic mother, just.
I wish I could rot her tongue out some days.
Where did you get these from? Just out of interest.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh gosh.
The
Right.
deep lore.
No.
I was gonna say I can't help to give that advantage. I have.
No, you don't have a tongue. He looks at you and says, "A long time ago, I was part of a wedding. Two people that were very much meant for each other got married. Unfortunately, as you people do, they died. But well, kept the rings afterwards."
Can I
Can't
keep...
tell if he's lying.
Insight check.
Hard to read.
Buy a mission. Like, there's definitely more to the story, obviously, Atira, I think, is what you pick up.
But
The
basic
story,
what he said.
the gist is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like he stole it and is covering that up.
Yeah, he holds them out to Clara and Calvin.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll keep it safe. You can have them back.
Mm-hmm. He nods. Anything for a good lie, and then he jumps back in, hops back into the vessel.
I can see why you two get along.
For better or for worse. But yes. A little partner in crime.
Are these
Right.
gold bands worthy of von Hallig
Well,
nobility?
they're silver with diamonds. They are engagement rings rather than like wedding bands, basically. In addition to that, they do allow you both to cast message if the target is only each other.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool. All right then.
The building has a receptionist as you walk in. She clearly has been warned in advance by Bahinir of the fact that you might arrive. In fact, actually, not Clara and Adhira that was warned in advance of. He's just like, Caliban von Halik. Your uncle mentioned that you would probably pop by for a visit at some point. She points towards the elevator and basically tells you which button to press.
Gives her a courteous thank you and goes off in the direction of the elevator.
And yeah, she doesn't pay much mind to Clara and Atira, who she assumes to be like either retainers of yours or whatever.
Hanger-ons.
So like while we're in the elevator, we push the button and we're going up. I'm like, so how are we supposed to do this? Is Adhira supposed to be behind us? Is she supposed to be in front of us? Do Clara, do we walk side by side? How close? How far? Stuff like that.
Sorry, I now feel the need to ask. Have you never had a romantic feeling in your entire life?
No, not really. Why?
Poor mister.
I mean, obviously she's an exception, but like...
Okay.
Shocked croak
Well-
from the vessel again.
Let Adhira go first. He will try and talk to you, but we should let her sell her painting first, rather than distract him before she can get the coin that she's so interested in. Here. I'm gonna loop my arm through his. You don't have to do anything. I'll do all the work.
I will saddle up in front.
He's like, Caliban is like, for the record, I'm not trying to say you're unattractive.
Oh, did you have to?
No,
Um,
I'm just
fantastic.
saying, I find you attractive in the same sense that I find your chakrams attractive.
Oh?
As the door pings.
We are going to talk about this on the way back down.
There's like 3 doors on this level. That obviously you know the number of which one to knock on it here. I assume you do.
It's the one with the biggest?
Well, sorry, I just mean that like I assume you knock as opposed to I assume you know which
Yes.
one to knock on. Yeah.
Yeah, I knock.
Opening it up, it is Bahinir. He is wearing a like cashmere robe essentially. He has a martini in one hand. You can tell he's very slightly hungover. And it is like 5 p.m. or something like that. As he looks and he says, looks right over the top of you, by the way, Adhira, and says, Caliban, my boy. I didn't think you'd be coming along with your, He looks down at you and, looks at you, Adhira, and says, it was...
Fascinating.
It was an A, Adelaide.
Adhira.
Yes. Come in. Go ahead.
Walking in, how much ostentatious? How much expensive shit just lying around?
Nothing. It is very nicely furnished, but it's the kind of furnishing that was quite clearly built into the apartment. There are places on the wall where you can tell large pictures where once upon a time hung. There's nothing there anymore. The most expensive things in here are bottles of alcohol. There are many, many discarded crystal cards kind of littered over different surfaces. Yeah. It almost looks like a show home that's been emptied and then filled in with some stuff someone might need to live. He says, please, the couch is very comfortable, I assure you.
Walk in, clear myself a little space on the couch, and sit down.
So, you have brought the painting, yes?
She slides the little tube strap off of her back. It's right here.
You wouldn't mind me looking at you, would you? I'm an appreciator of fine art.
Go ahead.
He unfurls it, takes a look at it, and says, yes, this seems to be genuine. Rather good, too. The damnedest thing happened. I lost my card recently.
Oh, no.
Oh no, that sounds awful. Clara looks at Hero.
I am not meeting that gaze. That is the gaze that ruins me.
He rolls the portrait back up and says, could I have your tube? I have to say, I don't have something to carry it and disguise it on me.
Disguise it? Oh, well.
Well, I assume, since you were reaching out to certain individuals, that you have gotten yourselves involved in a rather shady world, Atira.
Depends how you look at it.
Indeed, it does. And that's why 5% I think is fair.
Sure.
Very well.
Now, as a player, I give it to him. He puts it for sale for 800. Evan gives me my earnings.
I will send you the 95%, to be precise, and I'll find a way to get it to you in the mail. Do not worry. Your proceeds, once it's all sorted.
She thinks on it for a minute. Clara and Caliban, could you give me either perception or insight?
My specialty.
Caliban doesn't see anything. Clara, you notice the slightest change in Adhira's posture, and after experiencing it for about 4 months, you know when she is listening to another voice in her head. Would I be able to get that written down on a contract of sorts?
Paper trail, my dear. Are you sure? It'll have your name on it, my name on it, if anyone got a hold of it.
I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I don't have a contract on me. I don't carry a clerk around.
Is there any way I know I can get him to give his word or a form of that?
I tell you what, why don't I send you a direct message on your little pad? If you want to share details with one another, I can contact you that way.
I'll say yes, but I want to do an insight check on that first. If he's see if I can tell if he's trying to screw me over.
Give me an insight check. He's more afraid of being screwed over than interested in screwing you over, Atira, I think.
She'll nod.
He's too broke to be.
Yeah, I could.
You tap Kristan pads, and he sends you a message. It's like, I, Beridian von Halig, with like a little brackets previously, and then do agree to send 95% of the proceeds of the object that was given to me by Atira for sale, blah blah blah, and like gives like a big yada 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 yada.
Well, everything seems to be in order then.
He nods, and immediately turns to Caliban and smiles at him and says, "My boy, how have you been doing? It's good to see you again."
Oh, I've been doing rather well, going about in my studies. You know, the dueling, the studies,
Yes, the
the
dueling, the
combat lesson,
studies. I'm
the
sure
combat lessons, the engagement.
monsters and other scary things that you knights have to deal with. Yes.
Also, also I said engagement like halfway through that.
You said what?
Surprise! We wanted to tell you in person.
Yeah. I just like hand behind my back. I use I use the engagement band. Like, Clara, do your thing.
He looks between the rings on your hands, looks at you, Caliban, and says, "Boy, you do have taste," and like tries to be like, "Oh, in a choice of bride," but he's looking at the ring when he says it. He just says, "Do you know what? When we met on that ship, Clara, Miss Maddox, Miss soon-to-be Von Halik, I suppose. I knew there was something special about you. A good match for my Caliban, that's for sure. Does your father know?"
I've sent him a message. The letters take a while to arrive. I'm hoping to be able to deliver the news to him in person, but it will depend on when we can get out that way.
Lovely. And Caliban, what about my brother?
I will ensure that he is kept up to date. However,
Of course,
I'm sure that we can keep this between us. He gives him a small wink.
Of course you would trust your uncle before your father. What a silly proposition that I might be the second to receive the news. Ugh, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, very much living up to the family name, doing the right things, making the right moves. You know, it always was the saddest shame that your father could not see the benefit of myself when he was, doling out his praises. But I can already hear the words, "Caliban, my boy, you made me so proud." I'm sure he'll say it to you.
Of course. It is such great praise within your expectations as well, dear uncle.
Your father and I still aren't talking. You know, he's always been a little... I don't know. He always tries to get away with as much as possible. You know what I mean, Caliban? Have you seen the news about him trying to scrounge more land off the Trismerians? I mean, he's really just an awful guy.
I have been, unfortunately, I have been keeping up to date on the news as well.
And as you well know his character, and I do, and unfortunately, Clara, you'll be privy to it once you're fully in the family, delightful as that's going to be. I can't wait. He might try and shirk on certain responsibilities to you, I would imagine, Caliban. And more specifically to you, Clara. There is the matter of the gift to the family of to be wed.
As much as I appreciate that that's something that you might feel the need to do, in Heaven's Pillars, it's actually quite the reverse. My family would offer one of our great treasures to your house as a thanks for accepting me into your lineage.
What a wonderful place Heaven's Pillars is. I've always said that.
You just changed this man's whole dating career.
The Lux Maddox family probably has a great many artifacts. Gosh. Oh, what a lucky man, Caliban. I mean, your father might... I wonder if he would properly understand the merit of such a gift.
It will take him a while to learn, though not as quickly as yourself or any others associated within your sphere of influence.
Well, you see, when I said your father and I weren't really talking anymore, that's not entirely true. I mean, he obviously understands that since I have left the family and struck out on my own, I have made a great many contacts that understand the true value of things. This artifact, if it were to be presented to me, I could find out the value, and your father would certainly trust my judgment on whether it is worthy, of course, of taking his favorite son, his only heir.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I mean, outside of Heaven's Pillars, we don't have much contact with the rest of the world. I think it would be best if someone who was far more worldly and knowledgeable than I in artifacts was to examine it. Don't you think so, Caliban?
Of course, dear.
Clara bites the inside of her mouth.
Meanwhile, I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time.
So is Bahadir. He sits up a little straighter. His posture fixes. He is a noble once again as you look at him. And he says, "In fact, Caliban, our more personal dealings. If the artifact is of extreme value, it might coax those who are a little more scared to come to ground into the light. We might even be able to organize a little get-together where we show off each other's artifacts, a certain blade for a certain gift from abroad."
Now, okay, now I can sense when I'm being swindled. I suppose so.
This is delightful news all around. Clara, you and I should swap details on our scrolls as well. May as well have access to messaging my soon-to-be niece-in-law.
Of course.
Taps pads together. It says, and you, if you need someone to write a letter of recommendation for my nephew here to your father to extol his virtues, then yes, I will certainly lend my name to whatever news that you pass on to your father. You know, expedite whatever processes need to be done. I'm good at paperwork.
Of course, I appreciate that very much. I will inquire as to the whereabouts of my personal letter. I, for reasons, of course, have to have my correspondence checked before it leaves the city. So if it's getting stuck in backlogs, it may be much better for you to send one on my behalf.
You read my mind. I was already going to offer it. Caliban, she's a delight.
Indeed. Like, there's a very slight strain.
You could stand to be more affectionate towards your would-be bride. Don't stand on the stuffy protocol of our family, Caliban. Smile.
Yeah, Caliban,
It's
tell her she's
okay.
beautiful.
No, don't. It makes the ones I get in private all the sweeter.
Oh, young love.
Meanwhile, Caliban just stage whispers over to Bahanir, and Hira gets really jealous when I tell her. Gets really envious when I tell her.
I know the pain, Caliban. Yes, I know the pain.
Your character's death is going to look like an accident.
No, it's not.
What about Roach's death?
Also not.
Well, if you want to stay and have a drink, talk about the good old times, Caliban, tell me more about the engagement, whatever you want to do. I'm here for you anytime. Even now, if you want.
As much as I would wish to stay more, I'm afraid that we are late for, well, we are nearly late for a due assignment, and we must,
Duty first, and obviously
yes.
I'm busy as well, so we couldn't have stayed too long.
Yes, of course. Well, I'll make sure to get in touch with you as soon as I am able to, once again.
I cannot wait.
Caliban gives a courteous bow.
Bows as well, leads you to the front door. And says, I do not think this should take long, Adelaide. I'm pretty sure Hermione will get to you soon.
Hear from you soon.
Okay, just let me know when we get out of earshot of him.
Yeah. Door closes, you guys get in the elevator, start heading down.
And I turn to Clark, played like a goddamn violin.
Look, I told you, he's fairly predictable, and so all I need now is to secure something he reasonably thinks might be an important artifact.
Doubly
Shouldn't be too
so,
difficult.
doubly so easy when he's only exists in two states, drunk and hungover. The probability of him being neither of which is akin to a coin balancing on its tip after flipping it.
Oh, don't say that, because that is sometimes a thing that happens.
It does happen, but very, very rarely.
Well, I think that was a roaring success. I think I might actually need to go down at some point to where I went and bought my plants. There was a woman there who said she could get letters for me out of the city. And as much as I'm playing him for a bit of a fool, I don't trust Byron to not write himself anyway before consulting with me. So I really should get an urgent message to my father.
Let him know about the whole plan.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he'd believe it fully, but I'm worried that he might think something else is wrong.
If the person you're playing for a fool is open to briberies, do let me know. I have some expenses to spare.
No, it's okay. We have plenty of things that probably appear more priceless to Bahanir than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've just changed weapons, so maybe I could even pass off my old chakrams.
Haven't they been in your family?
Yes, they have. Well, these haven't. These have only really been with me. The blades are, I suppose, an artifact. Not priceless. Not really to anyone but me. But I don't really intend on letting him get away with keeping them regardless.
You can always just swap out the blades for substitutes.
It doesn't even have the codex in it anymore. I've moved that hand grip to my new weapon.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second time I've mentioned it. I really thought someone was going to pull me up on it, but never mind.
Terminus croaks. She has a new weapon.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, what does it look like?
Oh, now who's interested? It's back at the dorms. I'll show you when we get back.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm sorry you had to sit through that, Adelaide.
I would steal something from him if he had anything worth stealing, but it's just... At a certain point, he's just sad.
You mean like that card he had that went mysteriously missing?
Mm-hmm. Was it 20,000 and he had 30 gold left on it? I hope these elevators aren't bugged.
Man,
Like that.
wouldn't that be a
Frog head pops
wouldn't
out of
that
your
be a
pocket.
twist?
Bugs?
No.
Oh. Unless anyone has any particular to go through, I think that's a decent place for us to leave off. We're getting close to 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll catch Caliban later then.
What was that? Sorry, what you said?
I said that's fine. I can catch Caliban later.
Oh yeah, true. Save it. I think there are some bits and pieces that people have from their time skips still left over, but we'll get to them when we get to them. I think. Yeah, we're good. All right, that's it for the week. Closing it down.
Nice.
Nice.